Hey, we are here with some Gamebound, a little series where we play one-shots of various sorts, and today we are going to be playing the Cosmere RPG, which I'm very excited about. It'll be the beta rules, kind of like plays that they have out currently. Obviously, the full thing is not out until next year. But I wanted to play some Stormlight. You know, I've been reading back through the books, gearing up for Stormlight 5, and they have this little intro adventure thing that I'll probably end up running several times because there are several groups of people who want to play this game, and doing one shot like this with more than 4 players is a nightmare. So I decided not to do that. I'll just go ahead and read the little blurb that the adventure gives here. Obviously, we know what the Stormlight Archive is, but for those of you who are watching maybe and don't, well, this will fill you in at least slightly, this little blurb that it has here. No, you know what? It won't fill in a whole lot. You'll just have to find out as we play, but I'll read it anyway. The Stormlight Archive is the story of Rashar, a world of storms and war. It is a story of growth, of passion, and of honor. And today, it is a story that you will tell. You are not yet heroes. You currently live in a war camp at the edge of the Shattered Plains, a vast expanse of chasms and plateaus. Today, you're traveling with soldiers and scholars loyal to an Alethi noble named High Prince Sadeas. That is where our story begins. A few days ago, a high storm uncovered ruins dating back to the Silver Kingdoms. Now you're part of an expedition sent across the Barren Stone to investigate what's left of those ruins. So each of you has chosen a role within this expedition. Let's go ahead and just, we'll probably get like a shot of, so I have this cool art here from the game of the, can you guys all see this?
Yeah.
Art, cool. This is what it looks like, right? We see the barren plateaus of the Shattered Plains. Oh, I didn't move these videos around. There we go. We see this expedition moving across the plains, and a bunch of bedraggled-looking bridgemen carrying what looks to be a big portable bridge. We see them set down the bridge, collapse in exhaustion, and the bridge is set across one of these plateaus, the chasms, bridging the plateaus. And this is like the last chasm before you basically are going to get, it's on this plateau somewhere that kind of below in the chasm somewhere that you're going to go to these ruins. But we see the bridgemen set down the bridge and the expedition go across. And so you see soldiers, guards, and then a big wagon pulled by a chull. Chulls are like these big crustaceans, very slow, very plodding little creatures. And it's pulling a wagon in which a noble woman, Brightness Alaya Matal, is being pulled in a wagon here. And she is kind of like the scholar who's been sent on this expedition to actually do the research and the sketching of the ruins and whatever else actual investigation kind of needs to be done in this ruins. That's her job. NPC but that will be in the party here. We also see a Alethi nobleman kind of in the middle here, kind of crossing the bridge imperiously. You guys would know him as Captain, let's see, what's his name? Salinar? Is that what his name is? Where's his name? Selinar. Yeah, Captain Selinar. So far we got Selinar and Alaya Matal. I'll rate those in Roll20 there so you guys can have reference for that. Those are the main people that you actually know the names of. Captain Selinar is like the kind of soldier guy who's in charge of the spearmen and the bridgemen that have been sent by High Lord Sadeas to investigate these ruins. And hopefully you'll find, maybe some artifacts that will be useful to the war camp or to Sadeas, or at least to science. The bright ladies of the realm always are interested in fun little new knowledge that can be dredged up from ruins like these. We see the 3 of you also in the party here. I think the first person we see is Naladan. David, do you want to tell us where Naladan is as you guys are crossing the bridge here? What you look like and what you're doing?
So Naladan is Light Eyes. He's just important enough to be sort of in the direct sphere of Brightness. What was her name?
Alaya Matal.
Matal, okay. But not important enough to actually be like, talking to her or anything. And so I think he's probably part of her like complement. Not that he is related to her, but just that he's important enough to be, entrusted with that.
Yep.
Because he is a Bright Eyes of a minor house.
Mhm.
Bright Lord of a minor house. And yeah, he is not wearing armor because armor is expensive. And but he does have a sword and shield, and yeah, he looks maybe more confident than he ought to, considering the circumstances. But yeah, I think he's just kind of yeah, he's got his head on a swivel, just looking like he's trying to look for something to, keep his attention, basically.
Yeah, and I think like something will happen before you guys all cross the bridge here. So we're just seeing like a very kind of crystallized moment of each of you kind of on the bridge. Seth, where is Rassitar? And what does he look like? What's he doing? You're the resident ardent on the voyage, the priest of Vorinism.
Yeah, it's a great question. Who am I? So Rassitar, he's an ardent, so like a priest, basically.
I think they usually have like shaved heads.
Yeah, he's a Lethe. He's bald because they shave their heads.
Oh yeah, here's the token I found for him, by the way. If that works.
Perfect. That works.
Sweet.
Where would he be? It's a great question. I assume since he's an ardent, he would be close to the brightness.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Her.
Yeah, maybe she's even. I mean, you're the other like scholar on the trip, so she's probably talking to you. And actually, you know what? Let's back up just slightly. I think probably we can get little snippets of each of these NPCs. Mm-hmm. We see David's character Naladan, Salinar is nodding to you as you're crossing, and I think he basically says something along the lines of, "You want to use that thing?"
Oh, I whacked my brother a few times with it.
That's good enough.
Clunks it against his shield.
Yeah. He says, Slide Eyes, it's in our veins. Once we take back, we're meant to take that back to Tranquilin Halls, so I don't doubt that you'll feel the thrill in no time.
Yeah, gotta practice somehow, right?
He nods, and then the camera kind of pans back, and we see Rassitar next to the brightness, and she's telling you and about the ruins, and she says, "Yes, it dates back to the Silver Kingdoms. I believe that if we should be able to find maybe even artifacts from the lost Knights Radiant. Wouldn't that be wonderful?"
It certainly would. I'm very interested in any artifacts we can find, so.
She nods.
Dibs on the shard blade.
Yeah. So, keep a lookout for anything that might be of interest to my research. I've been doing a study on the Knights Radiant, and I'm certain that we'll be able to find something out from these ruins, if it is truly from the Silver Kingdoms, like the reports say.
That would make sense. I also I'm wondering if there's any listener artifacts here too. There might be, given history and everything.
Well, let's hope we don't run into any of them.
Oh, certainly, there's a lot of listener artifacts down at the bottom of the chasm. You can smell them already.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the camera kind of like passes back, and probably like taking up the rear is Carly's character, Mara. What does Mara look like? What's she doing?
She's an Lethe scout. So she's got like kind of long dark hair, not like super long, but like probably mid back, fairly long for like us, but not necessarily for. See, Lethe women tend to keep long hair, right?
I think so.
At least the light-eyed women.
Eyes. Are you light eyes or are you dark eyes?
I was assuming I was light eyes. Probably similar to David's character though, lower light eyes. And she's got on like the same uniform as everyone else except like the female version. Which I don't even remember. I know that Sanderson describes what those look like, but I don't remember exactly what the differences were.
You're probably the only other female in this party besides the brightness. And like I do believe that like in Invornism, like obviously women aren't supposed to like go into war, but they can be like scouts and guides and stuff. So you're one of those. You're probably the only one who like brightness has a long sleeve like that covers her safe hand entirely. You probably are just.
I would assume I just have a glove. Yeah. Because I am an archer. I've got a short bow. I wouldn't say if she's like trigger happy, but she probably like she is ready to draw it at a moment's notice. So she probably has it. I don't know. How do you typically store a short bow?
You probably have it strung over your back if you're storing it.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah, but you could be holding it, right? You'd just be holding it in your hand, and then like all you'd have to do is like take an arrow out, right?
Yeah, I think she. Yeah, I think she probably just has it on her back for now. Because we still haven't like gone very far, have we? So
you've gone pretty far. You're almost there, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure where we were.
Yep. I mean, it wasn't a super long trip. Like you've been able to make it in it's probably getting on towards the beginning of evening, but not like a whole day's plus travel yet. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think
she's just like constantly scanning the horizon with her eyes, just kind of like keeping an eye on everything.
Yeah, and I think the NPC we probably see you interact with is one of the bridgemen. Looks like to be an older dude, an older man. He just like kind of bows his head as you pass. He says, "Brightness." Just curious if you'd interact with him at all or just pass by.
Would I even be referred to as a brightness if I'm lower?
Well, you can tell you have light eyes.
Okay, but would that be something that I would be used to people calling me as a scout?
Yeah, probably not. Like, probably not like in the army and whatnot. But like, this guy is just a bridgeman, right? So he doesn't know who you are. He's just
yeah. I think she just like politely nods and keeps on her way.
Sweet. Yeah, and you guys are all like either on the bridge or just at the edge of the bridge when of course things progress. Let's see. Yeah. Here. So it's midday when you reach the final plateau crossing. The expedition's scholars ride in wagons pulled by chulls, their carapace covered legs clicking with every slow but steady step. The expedition's bridge crew carries an even heavier burden, so on and so forth. I think, sorry, I skipped through this whole little blurb that we should have read earlier. But I think you probably at some point, Mara, you said we're nearly to the ruins as you like notice something on the horizon, right? Because it says a scout announces this, and you're the scout on the trip.
Would I have maps at all?
If it's on your character sheet, yes.
Okay.
If not, then
I think we added anything.
I think it's just the idea that like you just know the chasms more than most do, right? But yeah, once the bridge is in place, the caravan starts to make its way across. Soldiers, bridge staff, and the wagon. But as the chull reaches the midpoint of the bridge, it scuttles to the side and starts to snap its claws. The beast is clearly agitated, refusing to move, even as like a couple soldiers bring out ropes to try to haul it forward. Does anyone pay attention to the chull? Do you just kind of ignore it?
I think maybe I would. I mean, can I just make a roll here to like? See
I was going to say like
understand something about the situation.
Yep. If you take an interest in the chull,
or whatever,
go make a survival check.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so you should just be able to click on the name of the skill in your character sheet, and it will roll a d20 plus your bonus there.
Okay, cool. I'm assuming I say no to roll the plot die.
Yeah, no plot die this time. I set your character sheets to ask that every time.
11.
Okay, at 11. 11 is good enough.
Okay.
On a success, your character learns. So you know exactly what's happening here, Amara. The reason that a chull would do this right now is because it is in the presence of an apex predator called a chasm fiend. Right? It can tell. You can like the chull is at the edge of the bridge and it's snapping its claws like nervously, and like as you look down, you start to see a dark shape. What are Naladan and Rassitar doing, if anything, during this period where Carly's character is going over to check on the chull?
So it's trying not to cross the bridge?
Yeah, it like stops and like kind of just snaps its claws agitatedly.
Oh. I'm going to go kick it.
You just go kick it.
Keep moving.
Yeah, stupid animal. Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't seem to do anything, right? It's very obviously like agitated. Rassitar, what about you? Yeah, you haven't noticed this yet, but
I think I just watch it and like wonder what's happening.
okay. Yeah, do you want to roll a deduction test for me? See if you can also notice this.
Okay. Roll normally, and then okay.
Oof, yeah. Yeah, so Rassitar, you also noticed this. For whatever reason, I guess you're interested in the listeners. So like you probably know something about the Chasm Fiends just by virtue of like what happens here on the Shattered Plains, right? So both you and Mara definitely see what's coming. Like Mara I think actually sees it before it like ascends up to the bridge. But like Rassitar, you just get this like the hair on the back of your neck prickles, and you just get this like bad feeling. You're like, uh-oh, you know what's gonna happen next.
I think I would like immediately tell what's her name? Elia Matal. That one is coming.
You just say like a Chasm Fiend has arrived or what?
Yes.
Can I say that at the same time Mara like yells for the soldiers to like get moving or something? Like I don't know what the first instinct to like
maybe
what
like
to actually do.
Everyone across the bridge or something, or like
something like that.
Everyone off the bridge, maybe, because you don't necessarily want the people on the other side to like cross.
Yeah, she screams, "Everyone off the bridge!"
Yep. And it's of course at that moment, the scraping sounds grow louder, and the troll retreats into its shell. Then, with a shriek of claws on stone, a massive creature charges up the side of the chasm. Bridgemen and soldiers scream as a Chasm Fiend explodes into view. With one of its massive claws, it begins hauling itself onto the bridge, scraping and splintering the wooden planks. Violet-black carapace casts a shadow over the chaotic scene, and the Chasm Fiend's mandibles close around a fleeing scout. So, like, probably like the other scout on the trip, just like gets like munched.
Oh boy.
And yep.
Dang it, more work for me.
A couple of soldiers like start to like try to like attack it, but like it just bounces off, right? The carapace. And like obviously you guys are all trying to move off the bridge, but before you have a chance to actually get off, as the Chasm Fiend pulls its upper half onto the bridge, 4 smaller legs skitter onto the planks. You hear a resounding crack. Its weight is too much. The bridge is falling. And this is kind of our inciting incident, so you don't really have a chance to get off the bridge. Sorry. But I will ask everyone to go ahead and make either an agility or an athletics check, whatever you would like to make, to attempt to like brace yourself for the fall, like however you would be trying to survive the fall into the chasm here. What do you do? So feel free to like describe how you're doing it, and then you can roll the whatever skill you think that, like agility or athletics.
I'd like
and
to say...
let's raise the stakes on this as well.
Oh.
What does that mean?
You roll the plot die. Sorry.
Okay.
So we all roll the plot die.
What does the plot die mean?
The plot.
Good.
Basically, the plot die in the Cosmere RPG is basically the way that we kind of add stakes to. It's called raising the stakes, right? We kind of put some focus on the narrative here, and you have a chance to basically roll either a complication or a opportunity, which will give you either like a little bonus or a little like something goes wrong. It basically is a way for us to describe more than just succeed, fail on this test.
It's a way to fail with benefit or succeed with the
right. Yeah, because even if you fail, you could get an opportunity, or if you succeed, it could be like a complication. Right. Yeah.
If you do get a complication, the way that it works is if you roll a 1 on the D6 or a 2 on the D6, you get a complication. But they also give you a bonus to your actual check. You get +2 for a 1 on the D6 and a +4 for a 2 on the D6 to the roll. So you're more likely to succeed if you get a complication, but something bad might happen. So the plot die is generally a good thing because you're either going to crit or you're more likely to succeed, but with a complication. So it's pretty much always a plus.
Let's go through this one at a time here. Naladan, what are you doing to try to?
So when it climbed over, I was behind the chull trying to lift it and push it onto the bridge or off of the bridge, whichever end it was on. Yeah. And so when it climbs over, I abandoned that attempt, and I'm gonna So sorry, was the chull was at the end of the bridge and didn't want to come off?
No,
what's
it was
happening?
it was kind of like at maybe the middle of the bridge, and it like stopped moving and like went to the side and started like snapping its claws, like
Okay, all right.
agitated.
Then yeah, I'm just gonna try and like jump.
Like jump for the side of the chasm, basically.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to jump for the edge of the chasm, but I'm sure I won't make it because, like you said, kind of you have to fall. So something to grab onto, to not fall.
Yeah, I mean, either agility or athletics makes sense there, whatever you're better at.
Yeah. I noticed I had an agility marked, but I think you get a free rank in athletics for being a warrior, so I think it should have been athletics, so I just changed it.
Okay.
As long as you don't mind that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I see.
I feel like it makes more sense anyway.
Yeah.
Whoa, 23 and an opportunity.
And
okay,
6
so
on the dang.
It does the symbol for you. So that means an opportunity.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So Naladan, not only do you take no damage from this fall,
Sick.
you still will fall into the chasm, but I think like I don't know. You described to me like everyone falls into the chasm. How do you not like get hurt at all from this?
Yeah, sure. I think there's probably like some rock buds and stuff sticking out on the side of the chasm.
Yeah.
And I just basically am able to grab a hold of one of them and just sort of like hang from the vines.
Right.
And then as for the
so real quick, the suggestion it gives, at least you can decide something, but the suggestion it gives is another character takes half damage or ignores an injury, so you can like help another character not fall to their deaths.
Yeah, I was gonna try and help catch somebody.
Sure. Yeah.
If that's all right, either as an advantage to their roll or
let's have the others roll then, and we can see if one of them needs any help.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And if they
Seth,
don't, I can help the noble lady maybe.
Exactly. Yeah, you can help one of the NPCs. Yep. So Seth, how does Rassitar attempt to weather the fall here?
I feel like he tries to like brace himself and
Just brace yourself,
maybe aim to maybe there's like a spot where it's like not as far down where he can like kind of land on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like the chull.
Like a slope, and then you can just slide down.
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so
man.
that's 7.
No, I'm
That was the
no.
exact opposite.
Yeah, and I think that gives you a +2 to your roll, but it's still not enough.
Did it account? It did not account for the +2, so we're gonna have to do the math for the bonuses on our own.
Okay.
So you got a 9.
Yep.
But,
so that
Catch
means
me,
is 1d6 impact damage. But yes, David, if you'd like to, you could do half damage here. Let's go ahead and roll that real quick and see how much it would be. Okay, so only 2. It's not that much. So if you wanted to use it on someone else, that's also fine.
Okay.
I feel like it might actually be better if I could give someone advantage on the roll to not take damage. Can I do that?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Since we've already done Rassitar, can I give
Mara?
Mara advantage? Yeah.
Yeah, real quick before we move on, though, with that complication, I do believe at least the suggestion here is a weapon or piece of gear is broken. Rassitar, do you have an idea as to like what might be a something that breaks of yours that like?
Yeah, we can say my knife.
Your knife, yeah. So you like lose. Maybe you're like. Does Rassitar maybe like dumbly like take out his knife like to face the chasm fiend, just not thinking about it? He's like, oh, what am I gonna do with this, right? Like, or you just lose.
Maybe, yeah,
and then you just like drop it as you fall.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to like try to be cooler, you could try to like you take it out to try to like stab it into the chasm
That was my
wall
thought,
and catch
and just
yourself, and it
snap.
just shatters.
That was my thought too. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
That is cool. Yeah. That just breaks off.
It might also explain why you're only taking 2 damage. I mean, a D6, I guess, 2 is understandable, but
yeah. What is my health?
Your health is 12. It's right over there on next to physical stuff. Your physical stats, right below that.
Okay.
So it's the left one that you change that to 10.
Ah, okay.
Yep. So you take a little bit of damage as you fall. And then Mara, you can go ahead and roll this with advantage, since Naladan is using his opportunity to help you. But you will roll the plot die as well.
All right.
also you can choose to spend your advantage on any of the dice in the roll. So in an attack, in this case, it doesn't matter, but you could do the roll itself, the D20, or you could choose your damage dice if it's an attack, or you can do the plot die. You can give any of those advantage, but it has to be before the roll. So if you can choose which one of those you'd like to have. And if you have more than one advantage, you can give more than one kind of die advantage, if that makes sense.
So you can save it for later, right?
No, you have to.
You have to spend it, but you can spend it on any of the dice in the roll. It doesn't have to be the D20.
Oh, okay.
But you can
So
only
for the
give
plot
each
die
die advantage once.
And basically, advantage means you're rolling two versions of the dice and then taking whatever one you want from the 2 dice that were rolled.
Okay.
Right. So, the assumption would be you roll the d20, you take the higher. And then with the plot die, whatever, I got a complication on one roll, but I got a opportunity on the other one. I'll take the opportunity instead. Right.
Okay.
So if you're like really confident in your d20 roll, you might choose to do the plot die instead or something like that.
Yeah. So up to you though, Maura. I don't know if it gives you the option to do that.
I don't see an option.
When it says roll
most of that
normal-
went over my head.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Basically, I was just saying you can give the d20 advantage and roll that twice, or the plot die and roll that twice, but
Okay.
not both. And you have to do that before you roll, so you don't know what they're going to be.
But real quick, Mara, what are you actually doing?
Yeah, I was trying to think about this.
I assume you want to use your agility. That's better than your athletics. But.
Yes. My thought was maybe, so has the bridge already broken at this point, or it's just gonna
you
break?
hear the board snap and like
Okay.
it snaps in half and like you start to fall, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you were prepared and stuff. So at any point during that process, you could have tried something that's part of this, right? Right, like before the bridge snaps, you like jump on the chasm scene's back and slide it down, right?
I don't want to try anything that dangerous.
Yeah.
My thought was maybe she tries to, like, she yells for everyone to get off the bridge, and then as quick as she can, probably just as soon as she realizes it's going to break and she's not going to be able to get across, she like dives off the side and catches the side of it and tries to like swing herself down in a way that's going to be more controlled than just falling.
Sure. Yep, that makes sense. Go ahead and roll agility, and then you can give yourself advantage.
So do I just say which die I want the advantage on then, since it doesn't give me anywhere to put it?
What does it look like when you say roll with advantage?
It just gives me the option to roll with advantage or disadvantage, and it doesn't say anything else.
Yeah, so it's probably just the d20. So
weird.
basically, if you wanted to do the plot die, I would say just make it a normal roll, and then we would just roll the plot die again, right?
Okay.
But you could also just do advantage on the d20 if you don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
It's probably better anyways. I don't know what.
Yeah.
22.
No,
Okay, 22 with a
complication.
Oh, you got complication, but that means you got a 26.
26.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this happens exactly as you described. Like you cleanly swing on the bridge and then like hit
Probably
hit the side
like
of the chasm.
slide. Well, yeah. My thought was like, swing myself down, kind of slide down the side of it for a few feet, and then manage to like get a running
hit
landing.
the ground and roll. Yeah. Sure. Sweet. But yeah, I think same thing with you, right? Like if with that, what's it called? Oh man, your 2 dice were 19 and an 18 that you rolled. You didn't even need that advantage. You did get a complication though, so same thing with you. Like a piece of gear is broken probably, or you like lose something. Your other equipment is on that second tab right here. You have a bunch of
I wouldn't pick your bow.
No, there's tabs on the character sheet itself.
Yeah.
Oh.
The middle tab that I clicked on. Yeah. So if one of those makes sense to lose.
Equipment.
Your bottle of Horn-Eater White. Your precious bottle of alcohol.
Oh no.
Shatters all over the chasm floor.
I mean, that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, probably if I'm like rolling, I would think that maybe that's in my backpack and it just gets smashed.
And it just soaks everywhere in your bag, right? Like it's just
so
like
I'm just gonna
alcohol
walk around
everywhere.
smelling like Horn-Eater White there for the rest of the
Exactly. Yep. Cool. Yeah, but then you all make it to the bottom of the chasm. No problem. Yeah, I think. Let's see.
Is there a way to take that off of my character sheet then? The alcohol?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Good question.
It's only allowing me to make a description for it.
Yeah.
Did I just roll something?
Yeah, you just clicked on it and you put it in the
just
chat there.
posted the description to the.
Okay.
Here you go. Modify. There you go.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh. Whoa.
There we go.
Did I do
That's
it?
slightly dangerous because it.
Yeah, I don't like the modify button. That was scary.
Yeah. It almost
It's just telling all the rules for that.
I don't know how to turn it
item.
off now.
Get the little cog next to like across.
It's like
from
at the
name.
very bottom there, Seth. Like it's almost like you're gonna delete another one. Did you get it? I think you did.
Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was close there. Okay, so the bridge is broken in its center, but its ends grind against the chasm's uneven wall, slowing its fall. People on the edges of the bridges tumble over the side as it leans in the direction of the chasm fiend, but some people cling to the bridge. And then, you all like kind of tumble down, as we've said. The bridge lands with a deafening crash on the chasm fiend itself, breaking a few of the beast's smaller legs. The chasm fiend roars in pain and recoils from the collapsed bridge, pulling itself free and retreating to the west. So you guys are all, right, like, standing around now in the bottom of the chasm. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. And a little blurb here says, down in the chasm, it's almost like you've fallen into another world. The canyon walls are smooth, worn down by millennia of flash floods. Vines and frill blooms grow here, attended by the glowing green motes of lifespren. The bridge is crushed beyond repair, and the bodies of your companions lie beside it. You hear faint groans from underneath the broken planks. And I have a little map here that we can drag to with who has survived the fall here.
Joe just woke up, so I will be back in a few minutes.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, there we go. We got everybody down here in the chasm.
Is it supposed to be black?
No.
You might have
not.
vision turned off or something.
Yeah, probably. I'll just turn off the dynamic lighting.
There we go.
There you go. Yep. So we have.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me add.
We got all kinds of people.
Nameplate. Yep. So there's the bridge. Right, it's collapsed.
Is the Chull alive?
The Chull is. Honestly, I'm not sure what the Chull is. There. Yeah. I guess there was probably like multiple Chulls. I think there's like people behind you. I think this is like a mistake. It also describes later that like the chasm fiend is like dragged the Chull away and is eating it. So let's say that it's not there.
Okay.
So as the chasm fiend retreats, right, as the bridge is like broken on its back and whatnot, it like grabs the chasm fiend and kind of like scurries off to like eat its meal. Not wanting to risk anymore.
Naladon climbs down from the foliage, plops down. He's like, "Is everyone all right? We need to." And then he sees it scurry away. He's like, "Help everybody up!" And he's gonna look for the bright lady. Make sure she's
alive. And she's just kind of sitting here. She seems relatively fine, but she's like taken a little bit of an injury. Not an actual injury, but she's like some of her health has been removed. Right, she took some damage. So it was like 2 soldiers made it through the disaster, at least 1 bridgeman. Alimatal. While you're like starting to like look around and ask, Captain Selenar is just kind of like looking around, like kind of slightly dazed that he made it out, and hasn't responded to your call yet. In on the side there, next to the bridge, the older bridgeman that kind of talked to Mara earlier. He seems still alive. He pulls himself up into a sitting position. He winces in pain and then lays his hand gently over what looks to be his broken left leg. But then he kind of forces a smile, not really to anyone in particular, but like to himself. He's like kind of staring down at his leg. He just speaks in a quiet voice. He just says, "Bridge 9, we've always been survivors. My the Almighty will survive this." But yeah, then like now then you just start looking for people like who have survived.
Yeah, I was trying to check people, see if they're alive, help the people who are alive.
Do you want to make a perception test? See if you can notice anyone else besides the like named people we have here.
I assume no plot die.
Good question. Let's say no plot die. Woof!
I rolled a 20. Jeez, this is
get an opportunity.
The combats are going to go so badly.
I know.
Mine
So
are gonna be great.
You definitely find 2 other bridgemen underneath the rubble over here. Who
Okay.
unless you dig them out and if they hadn't been digged out, they probably would have just been forgotten here, like in the massive rubble and stuff. But yeah, their names are Aaron and Kesh. Not that you know that, but they both have taken some damage. And they're covered in crawling orange pain spren like hands, right? Just kind of crawling around them. But yeah, you managed to like drag them out.
you're able to notice them. Let's see. And then, what do you want to do with that opportunity? What are you thinking? Because you get an opportunity to give her getting a 20.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't need focus.
I don't think there's any other survivors that you found the other two who are here. But like you could maybe salvage something as well.
Can I say that I'm never gonna remember. I'm gonna write it down. Give me a second. What's her name?
Alaya Matal.
Alaya Matal or Natal?
Matal.
Okay. Thank you. Can she notice that I've taken charge in this situation and like, because I mean he's kind of a
right. Yeah. Be impressed. Sure. That makes sense.
Great. Okay. So he's just trying to take charge and making sure everyone's okay, and so maybe because of that she notices.
Sweet. Yeah, for sure. Do we have an idea for like does she just notice and file it away for later, or did she say something?
I was thinking just file away for later, but if you have an idea of how she might respond, that's fine.
Maybe at just some point she comes over after you've like helped the bridgeman out and just like you just see her standing next to you and nod like in appreciation. And she says, "It's very kind of you."
Of course, Brandis. Do you have any orders?
Well, while you were doing that, Naladan, what was Rassitar doing?
I think I probably ensured that Alaya Matal was okay. And then I think I was likely looking around, checking for
do you have medicine, Rassitar?
I might. No, I have poison.
Or you know what is medicine a skill? I don't think it is a skill, is it?
Yeah, you can add your medicine modifier to the recovery roll. It must be a skill.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's in intelligence.
I don't think I have that skill. But I was probably looking around and seeing if there were any other like threats in the vicinity.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. So because basically what I was just saying, if you did want to make a medicine test, you could like attempt to actually like help Alaya Matal like bandage herself up.
Okay.
Would that be something you would do, or?
I mean, yeah, but I don't.
You do have it is a skill. You don't have ranks in it, but you're good at intellect at least.
Oh, okay.
Passively.
So would I just make an intellect roll?
So it should be a skill on the bottom of the cognitive skills there, the middle row of skills.
Okay, middle row. Oh, medicine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and click that. I think that sounds like what you were doing, right? You're like going over and making sure she's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, 10. I don't think a 10 is enough to like actually give her back some health. But you don't do anything bad, right? Like you
I don't hurt her.
Narratively, you bandage her wounds, but it doesn't actually like give her health.
Do much, yeah.
So, yeah. And then you said you wanted to look around for like more danger, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. I think you can do so without like a roll. You look around, like it doesn't seem like there's anything else down here in the chasms, at least for now. Like you do hear like the sounds, the kind of distant, and it's hard to tell exactly how far away it is, but the chasm fiend is still sort of nearby, munching on the choll. So you kind of hear like cracking of its shell and stuff like that from a distance. And the way the chasm kind of echoes things, it's hard to tell how close it actually still is.
Okay.
In the meantime, Mara, what are you doing?
What did I miss?
Basically, Naladan found two other bridgemen underneath some rubble, helped them out of the rubble there. And Rassitar was looking around for danger and then helping Alaya Matal kind of bandage her wounds. What would you do?
It's the thing about playing characters that know things that I don't.
You can take a look at your skills, right, and just be like, oh, I'm good at this. Maybe I'd do something like that, right? Yeah.
Maybe she could try and like create an advantage to see which way would be best to go or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, I'd probably try to figure out how to either navigate us out or away from the chasm fiend.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and make a survival test, I think. No plot die.
10.
Yeah, with a 10, it's kind of hard to say. Like, you're still a little disoriented. You know the plateaus, but you don't necessarily remember all the, like, being in the chasms is a different thing entirely. At least for now, I don't think you have an idea. But then I think it's about actually, do you want to? What's one other thing you would do? I think everybody gets the chance to do like 2 things before I advance the scene here. You could like try to salvage for stuff in the wreckage.
Yeah, probably see what I can recover that we could still use.
Yeah, go ahead and make a thievery test. Yeah, and then you add the plot die to that.
21 with
Wow.
That just shows a black box.
Yeah, it can be blank. Yeah,
it can be blank. Yep.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
So
with
does that
the
mean
21.
Nothing.
No,
Yeah,
with
it
the
just
21.
nothing different
Oh yeah, for the plot die means nothing. But you do find a pouch containing 5 diamond marks, softly glowing with stormlight. And then since you got a 21, no one notices that you took this because it was like on a dead soldier.
Yeah.
Right. So like technically, it would maybe like the captain should take it or something. But like you just like find it and slip it in your bag and no one notices.
nice.
So sweet. So as you guys are doing this, you're noticing anyone who's paying attention is noticing that the spearman and like the one marine spearman who's alive and what's his face Captain Selenar are definitely getting a little agitated. It seems like they're not really helping. They're just kind of like glancing around nervously, getting slightly agitated. And I think so now that you're like over there. Around the time you guys are finishing up doing the things that you have described yourself doing so far, Captain Selenar mutters, "We need to get moving before that chasm fiend returns." And then the spearman kind of near him nods and then shouts up to the chasm, "Help! Help us!" And Selenar goes over to him and slaps him across the face. Yeah. He's like, "Varda, you crem-sucking idiot! You'll bring the beast down on us." And then, but both men do like look up to the edge of the chasm to like see if like anyone heard, and there's no response. Like whoever was up there still like has run at this point, right? They're like, we don't want to be by a chasm fiend, so you're like alone. And then I think around like this happens. You guys have all finished the things that you were doing, and at that point, like the scholar next to you, Naladan, she basically says because you had said like orders, right? Do you have any orders?
Yeah.
And she starts to say, perhaps we should. And then the captain interrupts her and just says, "Brightness, this entire storming suicide mission is your fault. Just do what I say." And anger spren start to pool like blood at the captain's feet. He shouts at the spearman to get moving. And then he stalks toward the like old bridgeman who's like on the ground. And he says, "We'll leave this one as bait for the chasm fiend." And he like starts to unsheath his sword. What do you guys do?
Does he have dark eyes?
The captain?
Yeah.
No, he's a light eyes.
Okay.
I think.
I
believe so. I don't know if it says specifically, but at least he's like a captain. So
sure.
Yeah. Does anyone do anything? It looks like he's about to like stab the poor bridgeman and leave him to die in the chasm fiend.
Can we see the chasm fiend from where we are?
No, you can hear it eating the chul somewhere in the distance, but like the echoes of the cavern are making it impossible to tell exactly how far away it went before it started eating.
See, I think I like go to stop him from, like I put my hand on his or whatever to stop him from drawing his sword and say, "It has its bait. We just need to move quickly."
And
quietly. And I look at the spearman.
Yeah. Let me just double check the.
I've got persuasion and leadership, if either of those makes sense.
Yeah, I think at least like in the moment, let's have you make like an athletics check to like be able to restrain him because he was like maybe even halfway in drawing his sword before you like get to him. So like let's make an athletics check, kind of like an opposed athletic check with him, just to see if like he gets his sword out before you manage to like stop him.
I got a 9.
Nice. All right. Let's. I think we should raise the stakes.
Oh,
on this, I think.
Again, then?
Yeah. Let's see. You can do it again.
Okay. Yes. There you go. It's much better.
Nice. That's better. Yeah, with an opportunity. So I'll roll for him. I will. Oh, I guess he doesn't raise the stakes, so ignore that. Because I think typically NPCs don't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did get a 19 though. So he got higher than you.
So he gets his weapon out. But...
Yeah. I think that's definitely that's the thing that happens here, right? Like the failure means he gets his weapon out and he's like about to like just kill the dude, like stab the bridgeman through.
And I shout like,
Well, real quick, did you have an idea for that opportunity, Naladan?
Well, I was gonna give myself I think maybe you have to give somebody else advantage. You have to give somebody else advantage if that's your pick with the.
I believe so. Yeah.
So I'll do that. I was gonna do a leadership thing, but if I don't get to sort of that point, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So Rassitar, what were you doing?
okay. I'm like kind of in the distance. So I think I would say something.
Yeah.
I would like shout like something like, "Be wary of your actions. The Almighty is watching."
Sure.
Persuasion.
That almost sounds like an intimidation test, kind of.
Oh
right?
no!
Right? Because like,
Okay, well, okay.
up to you. Like you could have said it in a way that was like a little bit more like persuasion-y, but I feel like it sounded like a threat.
Father's territory now.
Right. It sounded like a threat.
Well, my intimidation's better than my persuasion. So
okay,
you know
perfect.
what?
Yeah. Do it. And you can raise the stakes on this one too.
Oh.
And does he have
That's
advantage because I gave him the thing?
Yeah, let's do it again.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll it again. You can take advantage, and then also roll plot die.
So advantage, and then the plot die. Yes. Okay. Well, that was better anyway. So
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
So let me double check what it like recommends here for like what you have to roll.
What's his mental defense? It's probably what it would be. Cognitive defense. I mean,
Yeah. It has a description what it would take in the adventure.
Okay.
So I think what you see is the spearman next to him like definitely is like, oh my gosh, no, like we should not, like, because he was like starting to like be like, yeah, okay, Captain, look, I'll follow you. And as soon as you say that, the spearman's like, like I'm not going against the Almighty. But it definitely seems like the captain is not listening. And for a moment, I think all of you see his eyes flash red, and then he tries to attack the bridgeman. So let's go ahead and go into a combat here, shall we?
Fun.
Okay, so the way fighting works in the Cosmere RPG is, yes, you can place yourself wherever there.
I was up there trying to stop him, so I figured it makes sense.
So there are two types of turns you can take. You can take a fast turn and a slow turn. When you decide to take a fast turn, you get to go first, but you also only get to take 2 actions in combat. If you decide to take a slow turn, you go, slow, but you also get to take an extra action. You get to take 3 actions. So the way that the initiative goes is first fast PCs go, and then fast NPCs, and then slow PCs, and then slow NPCs. So NPCs also decide whether or not to take fast or slow turns. You don't have to decide this at the beginning of the combat. You can just decide it the moment it becomes relevant. So the first thing I would ask is, who wants to take a fast turn? Who wants to go first in combat? And then from there, we would just kind of decide amongst you who wants to actually take the first action. Yeah. So anyone want to go fast?
I'm the closest to him. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, that was my thought. Makes more sense for David.
Okay.
And I'm slow anyway.
You can all choose whatever you would like. For this,
everyone
right?
can go fast if they want.
Everyone can go fast if you want to, right? It's just like from there you would decide who among you goes first of the player characters. So yeah, that's the first thing. Let me just double check and make sure I have. Mara, since you didn't do anything in that little exchange there, do you want to make a lore test for me? There's something you might notice since you're like the one like just kind of watching and not doing anything. Make a lore test for me. No plot die.
21.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So you're recognizing something with the captain. The captain, for some reason, the agitation of this entire thing, and maybe he was like growing angry before this on the mission anyway. Maybe he thinks this was like a dumb idea to begin with. He's been angry all day, and you that flash of red in his eyes. This is something that is familiar to Alethi. He's under the effects of the thrill right now. So
I did notice.
Yeah,
I noticed his
eyes go red.
His rolls said thrill berserker. So
did it?
Yeah.
Whoops. That's funny.
Yeah. So, but then you getting such a high roll too, Carly, means you're going to get advantage on your next test against him.
Cool.
So, yep, you're familiar with like the effects of the thrill and that it's on him right now. That's why he's doing these things.
Wait, so in the books, their eyes turned red?
I don't know if that is actually the case.
That's what it was a visible.
That's what the adventure told me.
Yeah.
So I'm just going with what the adventure is telling me to do. Yeah. So, but yeah, first thing we can do is have David decide what he's doing.
Yeah. See how many actions it takes. One. Okay.
What's Naladan doing first?
Yeah. So after he goes for it anyways, I go into vigilant stance. Take a fast turn. Go to vigilant stance, and I'm just gonna try and like club him with my sword, basically, right?
Okay.
I guess I don't have my sword out. I don't know how that works.
It does take an action to draw your sword.
Yeah.
But you have 3 or 2 actions, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're trying to do the hilt, I would say we're rolling for like an improvised weapon, kind of, or maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are rules for like hitting someone with like the.
There's when you hit someone, you can decide that it was an non-lethal thing. So
does it? Okay,
that was just sort of my attempt to describe that, but I don't have my sword out, so I will just.
You try to like tackle him first, right? Like to make sure he doesn't, because his action is going to be to stab the bridgeman, right?
Yeah, right. Well, I'm going to draw my sword and go into vigilant stance, which will discourage him to do that because it will take him 2 actions to attack that guy instead of 1.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, when an enemy within reach of a melee weapon you're wielding would spend one or more to attack one of your allies not in vigilant stance, they treat the activation cost as 1 higher. So basically, everything swing against that guy will cost 2 actions instead of 1. So hopefully he'll attack me instead is the idea.
I see. So you're like defending him. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of like a soft taunt. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And that takes you an action.
Yeah. And I assume I have my shield out because I don't know,
Yeah. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah. All right.
It probably like fell from your pack. You like recovered it. It's just in your hand right now.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Cool. So you're just doing vigilant stance and then. Were you doing something else?
I drew my sword. That was the other action.
Oh, right, of course. Yeah. Sweet. Yep. So you're standing in front of him. You will not have him, right? Do you say anything? I mean, you can banter as a free action.
Before I said it has its we just need to leave, and he goes in and I'm like, all right, here we go.
Yeah. Disappointed.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyone else want to take a fast turn?
I was definitely gonna at least draw my bow and have it pointed at him, just kind of as a backup option.
Sure, yeah. Do you want to actually act on this turn, or is that like?
Well, my first thought was to like try to persuade him, but I have a 1 in persuasion, so it's probably not the best idea.
Yeah, and if Rassitar couldn't do that with a 17 intimidation,
right?
Oh, also, I don't know if we ever established or resolved the opportunities that you guys got on those rolls. David, did we resolve yours?
Mine gave Rassitar advantage, I think, on something.
Oh yeah, you're right. They gave him advantage on that roll. Yeah. Oh man, and the good thing too, he had gotten a 3 on the other roll. Rassitar, what did you want to use that opportunity to do?
Yeah.
Right. So the way these work is like it gives you a little bonus, little boost in the narrative. Something that helps you happens, right? Let me see if I can find some examples. You're using intimidation, right?
Yeah.
Basically, you can either suggest something in the narrative, you can regain focus, or you can give somebody else advantage. I think those are the main options.
Okay.
Or if you're like attacking, it becomes a crit. But that wasn't an attack.
Right.
And
Let
crits
me
in this
double
just do
check.
max damage on the die. That's all that changes. It doesn't like do multiple dice like in D&D.
Hot die. Trying to find like the list of
Mm-hmm.
things it gives you. Yeah. Hot die. Where is the like list?
What are you looking for? Sorry.
The like
Just, like,
list
what
of
you can do when you roll a hot die.
opportunities. Oh, here we go. I think okay, well this is the combat one.
Spending an opportunity, aid an ally, which gives an ally of your choice advantage. The next test made by an ally of your choice. You can recover one focus. You can change a hit to a critical hit or influence the narrative. And then basically the other options are the opposite of that, right? Like if you get a complication.
Yeah,
the GM
here's an
can-
idea. I'm looking at the like combat opportunities and complications. Here's an idea there, Seth. What about the spearman drops his spear? So like even if he was to like go and help the captain at this point, he does have to like grab his weapon first.
Sure.
Cool. So he's like backing up, like, oh, no, I'm not helping you, sort of thing. Cool. So yeah, Mara, did you want to act? Did you take a fast turn?
What's the question?
You can also
'Cause,
wait
like-
if you want to be able to say like I waited till he attacked. You could take a
Yeah.
slow turn, and if
Yeah,
he
that-
takes a
that'd be the
fast
idea.
turn, you'll go after him.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so he's gonna go next. Salinar is gonna take a fast turn. And yeah, I think because you're like taking a vigilant stance there, David, it makes sense that he would attack you instead.
Real quick, is Rastatar going to take a fast turn? Because all the fast NPCs have to go first. If
Right. So yeah,
Or
sorry.
Pete, excuse
I didn't hear anything from Seth, so I just assumed.
Yeah.
But yeah, just make
Okay.
sure. Okay, yeah, you're taking it slow. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds
yeah,
good.
go for it.
All right. Yeah, he's gonna attack you.
How rude.
Trying to just think of if he wants to do anything else in particular. He already has his sword drawn. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, he's gonna spend his focus to do Berserker Rage.
Oh, good.
It is a free action. It just costs him some focus. The thrill surges within the Berserker. Their next strike targets each character, including allies, within 5 feet of them, and deals an additional 4 damage on a hit. Whoa.
Nice.
How does that influence your vigilant stance thing?
Well,
Yeah, I think it doesn't,
Let's
because
see.
if it basically just takes him an extra action to attack. Is that what it does?
it increases the cost of the action. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think he can
to
still do it
another
because,
action.
yeah, that's his only thing
Um,
he'll do. But basically, he gets to target both of you guys, right?
Although, I mean, the way that it's set up right now, he wouldn't hit the bridgeman. He would just be hitting this other guy.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. I guess he has to.
He'd have to
do
spend an action to
and
move first.
Well, I mean, I think I was assuming he was in front of the guy by the point that we had gotten to this.
Oh, well, I guess I had intended to try and put myself between them when I was
Yeah.
trying to stop his sword. I thought this was the captain. I don't know why, but that's why.
Yeah. So you can be right there. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I mean, he can also move.
Yeah, but if he moves, then he can't attack you because it'll have to do an extra action, right?
Well, he could attack me because it doesn't cost him anything extra to attack me. It only costs extra to.
Oh,
attack
right, and then targets. Well, yeah, but so I guess this is my question. Their next strike targets each character, including allies, within 5 feet of them, and deals an additional 4 damage on a hit. If he does that against you, does that get around the extra action cost thing? If he moves
I guess it's
here,
up to
for
you.
example.
The vigilant stance just says, if they spend one or more action to attack one of your allies not in vigilant stance, they treat it as one higher. So it doesn't really doesn't specify that they have to be targeting them specifically, but it kind of you're still attacking him, right? It's just that you're not targeting him directly. I don't know. It just says
What is it?
targets.
Spend one or more one.
Yeah, it should be actions.
One or more actions to attack one of your allies.
It increases counts as one higher.
Yeah, I think it would increase it for him.
I think so too. But I mean, he could just make a regular attack against just me, and it would be.
I think he will move here with his other action.
Okay.
And he
It makes sense
is
to try and get around me.
Yeah, so he won't do Berserker Rage yet. He'll just move there, and attack you, Naladan. But he's like trying to get around you at the same time, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Okay, so he'll do probably. You know what? He'll do this first. He'll try to shield bash you.
Oh, okay.
So athletics test against the target's physical defense. What's that for you?
16, I believe.
Okay, he misses.
Nice.
Oh, you know what? He doesn't do that. Sorry, that counts him 1 focus, and he wants to do Berserker Rage. He only has 2 focus. Sorry.
That's all right. I mean, you can create an advantage for free. So why don't we just say he did that? It's literally the same thing. I don't even know why. Oh, the only difference is it would knock me prone, and create advantage just gives advantage, but that's all you get for me being prone anyways. So
yeah. Okay, so that happened. That's basically what I was thinking he would do. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know why they bother giving a special ability that costs focus. That doesn't seem weird. Anyways.
Okay, so you're not prone, but he did get a 20 on his longsword attack.
Oof, duh. All right. Oh, it's because his attack has a special thing that does more damage if they're prone. That's why.
Yep.
Okay. What's the damage for that? That definitely hits, obviously.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading something else.
Oh, you're fine.
Good question. Should have just rolled the damage with it, but I didn't. So I'll roll it manually. Okay, so 11 damage there.
Oof, no. So I do get 1 deflect from Vigilant Stance, but I take 10 damage. I have 3 health now. Ouch.
Yeah, so like you feel this like sword cut into your side, and like you don't have armor on, so right, like this is bad. And then so that's his turn. Now it would be slow PCs. So Mara and Rasatar, whichever order you would like to act in. But the captain definitely just almost killed Naladan.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I'm far away.
Yeah, you can spend an action to move. That's an action. Okay. You have 3 actions to work with.
Also, I will say technically he hasn't even injured me yet because injuries are a separate thing.
Yes,
health is kind of like a stamina thing. So it was probably like a very near, severe wound.
He
just
tried to
for
kill
the
him.
Narrative, right? Yeah. It was a serious attack. Yeah.
Would it cost me an action to like talk to an NPC?
If you're trying to like sway them or like do something like
no, just to like. All I'm wanting is some kind of impression from the Bright Lady as to like what I should do, because I don't want to just act with like against what she wants, but I also want to protect the person that's not being influenced by the thrill irrationally right now.
Yeah. What do you say? It's a free action to banter is what it says. So what do you say to Matal?
Yeah, I think she says, trying to think of a more elegant way to just be like, who do I aim at?
I mean, that seems appropriate.
I mean, could I get anything just by like glancing over at her and seeing her expression, being able to read that?
I think that would cost an action to like roll insight or whatever, right?
Okay.
But yeah, if you just want to ask her something.
Yeah, I think she just says, "Bright Lady, where do I aim?"
Yeah.
And just starts like drawing her bow.
Yeah, I think she just says, "It seems like the captain has abandoned reason for madness."
Yeah, and she just looses the arrow right at his head.
Sounds good. Yep.
Well, or probably maybe more like the shoulder. I don't know. Are we trying to kill him right now? He is trying to kill a character, but I don't know if
hit someone with an arrow non-lethally, but
when you do that, I'll see if it specifies, because I know that D&D specifies that you can't non-lethal with a ranged weapon, but I don't think this does. If I remember right, I know you can choose to put them down non-lethally, and I don't remember reading that it carried what kind of weapon you're using. I'll look though.
That's fine. If we're not worrying about killing him, then I'll just try to kill him.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, it says when it fits the story, the PC inflicting the injury can choose whether the NPC dies or becomes unconscious with an injury. So I guess you can decide whether or not it fits the story, but mechanically there isn't anything preventing you from just, shooting him in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And like technically the way that this works, right? Like I think he's like a named NPC, so like it could be more complicated than you kill him instantly, right? It could be something else.
So I see my roll light
go ahead
weapons.
And, roll. No. You there's an action, or there's like a weapon action on the kind of the bottom left of that section, I believe.
Yeah, next to your equipment, there should be your weapons and armor.
Yeah,
section.
right at the bottom left of your character sheet there.
Or I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Short bow.
Short bow. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. You just roll normally with no plot die.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa!
Nice.
Critical
dude.
Nice.
success. Okay, there you go. This one rolled damage properly.
Yeah.
Sweet. So yeah, you got 3. Does that double the damage too? Does it?
No, it does the maximum damage on the die. So
no, that's
what
what
6
it is. Yeah.
instead of 3. Yeah.
You do 6 damage. Yeah.
And then plus whatever her skill is.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Her skill's plus 4. It looks like.
Yep.
So she would do 10 damage.
10 damage. Nice.
Nice.
Does it also give a...
Well, so technically it's a choice. She can choose to do that, or she can do any of the other things, but I don't know that any of the other things
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So with a critical hit, you can either choose to max your damage or to use the opportunity to do something else.
I hadn't said that. Yeah. So when you roll a 20 on a die, what you're doing is generating an opportunity as though you'd rolled the die of fate.
Yeah.
And you can actually have a situation with the die of fate where you get 2. You roll a 20 and get a thing on the die of fate.
Opportunity.
It's not the plot die. Sorry. Anyways, but yeah, so in this case, it's basically like you got
that seems like a good
plot
option,
die thing. But yeah,
I think I'll just do as much damage as I can.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, so that's your action. You do have 2 more actions though that you can do. And you can do things like
he's not already dead, right?
No.
Not dead with 10 damage.
Yes, so you can't attack again. But you can do other things, such as using a skill, bracing yourself. I guess you don't have a shield, but
she can move to cover and then brace.
You can move to cover.
Not much point. Also, so you can actually make a second attack, but it costs focus, and you have to have another weapon. Or if you have a special action that is an attack, that doesn't count either.
But I couldn't just load my weapon and be done.
You can't. Do you have to load it?
You don't have to. I believe. Well, actually, there is.
Get another arrow.
Right. Yeah. I just don't think they care. I think basically whenever you attack, you just are assumed to have done that.
I don't
think
pretty sure. Okay. I think there's something along those.
A crossbow might have to, but I don't think a bow does.
I'm just thinking in D&D terms of readying an action, I guess.
Oh.
Or if that's
I believe you could use a skill, gain advantage. What's the gain advantage? Yeah, you could use a perception check to gain advantage and basically set yourself up for another attack next time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think I need to actually mechanically do that. I guess I was thinking more narratively of she gets in a good shot and she just prepares for another one in case she needs it. But
yeah, I mean, you still have 2 actions though, right? So you have to spend them on something. Or I guess you don't have to, but might as well, right?
There's also the aid action, which I think is giving other people advantage. You can ready, but I don't think you can choose something that you if you attack.
I believe aid is a reaction. That is different.
Is it? Oh, you're right. It is a reaction. Okay.
Yeah. So your options, Carly, would be you can find cover and brace yourself, and protection against incoming attacks. He doesn't have a ranged weapon though, so not necessarily something you need to do. You could try to gain advantage by using one of your skills to seek an advantage over your opponent. You could interact with an object somewhere around you.
Does it? I mean, I assume it takes action to move.
You can move with an action. Okay. Or you can
how far can I move?
It's based on your speed.
Okay.
It might be on your character sheet. It should be because it should be a variable thing. But yeah, movement it's
30.
So it should be at the bottom next, a couple boxes above your weapons is a movement box. 30, if you have 3, it'll be 30. Yeah.
So does that mean 3?
You can move up to. No, it means
each box is 5, right?
It's 5,
like D&D.
Oh, okay.
So you can go like D&D speed, basically. You have the basic D&D speed right now.
So right here, right? So we got.
Yeah.
So you can basically move anywhere you want to on this map, and
Yeah, I think. Yeah. See, the problem is I don't
yeah, what are you
have a
trying to do?
ranged weapon, so I don't need to like get closer to him. But I think by instinct she would just move between the bright lady and him.
You
Just
do have a knife,
as-
so you can.
That's true. Yes.
You can pull it out instead. But yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, if you're worried about Elia Matal, like that might not be a bad idea, right?
Yeah.
She is kind of close. Sure. Yeah. I mean, so I think David did say that you can like attack with a different weapon if you spend a focus. That's something you could do technically.
So you could like punch him. I think it costs 2 focus unless you have an offhand weapon. You could punch
it
him,
does. Yeah.
but it's kind of a waste unless you have like a.
No, yeah, that's
doing
probably not a good
something
idea.
specific. But
But yeah, you can
Yeah.
certainly just move there and threaten, like make sure that Elia is in between, that
Yeah.
you're in between them. And then from there, you could still like roll to, because that's one more action. You could roll to use like gain an advantage somehow. It would depend on what skill you're trying to roll and what you're trying to do, right? You could, like if you were trying to shoot him with a bow, you could have done like perception to aim a shot. You could do roll something to like cause a distraction so that Naladan can like hit him better next time. Or no, I don't. No, that's an aid thing. I get you can still do that at some point during this turn, I think, or next turn maybe.
yeah, I don't know if the advantage has to be for you.
I think it does.
I mean,
And how you were gaining advantage, it seems like it. Yeah.
could I just? Oh no, I'm not actually good at that thing. I was like, I could just roll to intimidate him further, but I have a 1, so.
I think it makes sense if you just like you could just like aim, and then next turn when you shoot, you'll have an advantage on the aim
Yeah.
from the aim.
Well,
I
if
think
she's
that makes sense.
moving, yes, but if she's moving between them, that's probably not a good idea because then you're right next
I
to
would need to
someone.
get
I
out
think
my knife instead.
you get disadvantage, I believe, from ranged attacks.
Oh,
next
I didn't
to
know she was
person.
next to him. Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean.
But yeah, you do that, Carly. You could like honestly, that's probably your next thing is you drop your bow on the ground, probably back where you were, right?
Yeah.
And then draw your knife.
Oh, you could attack him with a knife. But it does cost 2 focus, but you could do it. I mean,
Well, I think
I don't.
that's an
I don't
action
need
to draw a weapon.
attack him right now.
So
Oh,
what
you're
she's
right.
basically
Right.
her 3 actions is shoot the bow. She drops the bow for free,
sure.
walks over for one
Draws
more
a
action,
knife.
and then her 3rd action is draw the knife.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Cool.
Sweet. And then Rasatar, what do you want to do?
Okay. So I can move over there with 1 action to him, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So I want to move to him, and then I have unarmed attack boosted
gonna
with
punch him?
athletics. Does that also help with grapple or?
Grapple is, I think, a separate thing.
Okay, I thought
But yeah,
so.
that's something you could try. It's an athletics check to grapple.
Okay. So
It's
then
also 2
I
actions
will,
to do, just saying. But you're in a slow turn, so you could do that.
Yeah, I will. See, so that takes 2 actions. So yeah, I will grapple him.
Move like right here.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, grapple him. Okay, yeah, make an athletics check. See if you can beat this
Okay.
Thrill Berserker in a grapple.
It
Let's see. Where
should just be against his physical defense, I think, right?
So normal.
Oh, yeah, let me check. Yeah,
Yeah.
athletics test against the physical defense of the character. Yep.
Yeah, usually they avoid post rolls, I think, in this setting or system most of the time.
Yeah, so 14 is the roll is the number you need to beat.
Okay, so I roll normally.
Yep.
And then no plot die.
You know what? Let's add the plot die to this. This seems like a kind of a desperate raise the stakes sort of
Okay.
move.
Cool.
Yeah, this could go badly or well.
All right. Failure, but with an opportunity. So
Wait, what
it doesn't.
about the sorry, wait. Oh, with opportunity. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to see the roll.
Yeah. So you fail to grapple him, but you might be able to do something else, right? There might be there's still something that goes well for you here.
Okay.
Let's take a look at what options it gives us here. It had a whole big nice list.
Can I like an idea is I fail to grapple him, but somehow like what I do, I like hit his arm and he drops his.
Yeah. Yeah, an enemy drops their weapon or equipment. That makes total sense. Yeah.
Okay.
In the tussle, you don't get him grappled, but you like hit the sword out of his hand. Yeah. That's great. Yep. So the sword drops to the ground. And then the slow NPCs are going to move, are going to do their thing. Elia Matal just like runs away, right? She's like gets away as fast as she can. The spearman also is gonna like back away this way. And then Doral, he can't really move that well because he has a broken leg. So I think he'll probably just like try to get behind cover, maybe. Yeah, like he can move somewhat. I think what he'll do is he will he has 3 actions, so he will disengage from Captain Selenar, move behind the broken piece of the bridge over here, and then brace himself to like have defense against an incoming attack if he decides to attack again. He's just like cowering, like don't no right. And then that's their turns. We go back to, and then the bridgemen are just kind of like standing in shock over here. Naladan, I assume you're going to do a fast turn again?
Yeah, unless somebody else wants to go. We don't have to go in the same order we did before.
Yep.
So
anyone want to take a fast turn? It's likely that he'll take a fast turn again, right? So you could act before him if you wanted to do something.
I'm slow in general.
But you would only get
so
2 actions. So.
Because I'm slow, if I took a fast turn, he would still be faster than me, right?
No, fast PCs always go before fast NPCs.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, can I take a fast turn and like grab his sword? Or whatever
Sure. Yeah. You can pick up his sword from the ground. Yeah. Sounds good. So yeah, you have his sword, and then you have 1 action remaining. Do you want to hit him with the sword?
Let me see.
Hit it with the stick.
I don't think my character would want to kill him, so I feel would like throwing the sword away be another action?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I mean, you could also non-lethally like incapacitate him.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
hit him with a hilt.
He takes an injury, but he doesn't
flat.
die.
Yeah, well then I'll do that then.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm adding the longsword into the
As your heavy
right
weapon
now.
skill, Ressitor.
Yep.
+2, so it's okay.
All right, cool.
What is it? D8. What's your so +2 then. Keen. And I think that's all we need to know. All right, yeah, see, this is what it does. It does the weird. Need to add a bonus.
Oh yeah, I was trying to add my
Okay,
shield, and
there you
it
go.
was really dumb.
I know,
Like,
yeah. You have to like
it's-
redo the number a bunch of times
yeah.
before it fixes it. Okay, it should be on your character sheet there. You should be able to click it now. There, Rastatar, longsword.
Oh, click longsword.
Yep, on the bottom there. Yep. Let's keep the stakes raised, shall we?
oh wait.
Is
So
it?
at the bottom left of your character sheet, with your where
Next
your
to
knife
expertise
attack is.
Oh, okay. Then roll normal.
No, plot die. Let's raise the stakes again.
Yeah, normal's
Normal,
advantage,
but with a
it's
plot
normal.
die.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Nice. Let's see. What
Oh, nice. Yeah, you got the.
physical defense. Yep, you hit him. You hit him
Nice.
with 6 keen damage.
You could
sweet.
make it
And an
18
opportunity. Yeah, that's
damage
true.
with
Oh,
you can make it 10 total instead of 8 total.
Yeah, if you want to spend that opportunity you got to do max damage.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's his exact hit point. So congrats.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you you just make him drop a sword. You pick up a sword and you just whack him across the face with it, and he just goes down. So he takes an injury. You said, Naladan?
Yeah, I think so. It
Or,
says they go down with an injury.
Okay. Let me.
So you just have to
check the
roll.
injury table.
Yeah, injury rolls. It's a D20. Yeah, I have it in front of me here. You also add the deflect value to the roll. If he has
Yes.
deflect.
He does, I believe.
Has he been using deflect on the attacks he's been getting him?
No, he has not. Yeah. I totally forgot about that. He has a breastplate. He has 2 deflect. So actually he is not down. He has at 4 health. So
Well, that's
Not
okay.
quite
I'll
done
just attack him.
exactly, yeah.
And
So yeah, go ahead.
longsword. No plot die, I assume. I'm just
Yeah,
whacking.
not for this one. Yep. There you go. That'll take him out.
So yeah, we just both at the same time just like clomp.
Smack. Yeah. Sounds good. And I'll go ahead and roll d20 plus 2. 11.
So he gets a
got
shallow injury. He suffers
Shallow.
a temporary injury with a duration of 1d6 days.
All right, sounds good.
And he can't get up without gaining health from something.
So he's surprised, overwhelmed due to the shock of an injury.
Nice. And also
So
unconscious.
Yes. But when he wakes up,
Yeah.
he'll be
surprised. Yeah.
He was surprised when he went down. All right. Sounds good. Yep. So the combat ends. I mean, Varda's not gonna like attack you guys at this point. He's the spearman over there. He's just he's like, I don't know what came over him. Right. What do you
Well,
guys
I guess he got his bait.
do? Are you just gonna leave him here?
I mean, I don't care, but I mean, when I say that, I look up at the bright lady.
The brightness.
I don't know why, but
Matal.
you know, yeah. But I'm saying that like that's my opinion, but obviously I'm deferring to
Yeah.
her
I think
authority.
Alaya says, Alaya seems like slightly like she could go either way for her. Does anyone want to particularly advocate for not leaving this guy to die?
I probably would.
Yeah, what does Rastatar say?
Seems to make the most sense out of all of us.
I would probably say something like, anyone can fall victim to the thrill. We should not punish him for the qualities of our blood.
That sounds like how Ardent would say it. Yeah. I think that sways Alaya, unless David, you want to insist upon it, and like you could do like a versus test.
Nah, that's okay.
Yeah, Alaya just needed someone to say it before. Like, if she was like, if everyone was on board and was like, yeah, let's just leave him, she would have been like, okay, that's fine. But I think she nods and she says, you two, Bridgman, can you carry him? And I think she's a brightness, so they nod like, okay. And then
It's much lighter than a bridge.
right, exactly. She looks at the Bridgman over here, Doral, and just says, "And you, do you think you can walk?" And he looks down. And he says, "It seems like my leg's broken, brightness, but I'll survive. Bridge 9 always survives." Someone want to go help him out?
I will.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think there's like does anyone have good medicine?
I don't think I do.
I don't know.
So I'm trying to remember.
I have a
what you
2.
Yeah, I have it too.
I think
I
don't know
have
if you
whatever
can.
my stat gives me, so just probably less than yours. Oh yeah, I have a 1.
Yeah. But I think you can actually heal an injury until it's like time has passed.
I think
unless
injuries are a thing that you do in downtime, if I remember right.
Yeah, I guess
long rests.
it depends on if it was a. Yeah, we'll just say it's a permanent injury, but so he's slowed right now. His speed is lower, but technically he can keep going. But yeah, if someone wanted to. Yeah. If someone wanted to, and you obviously as well, you're damaged. Whoever wants to make medicine checks to like help people recover their health, you can. Otherwise, you can spend a focus to reduce recovery die, I believe.
I'll
to
roll,
recover your own
I'll roll
health.
medicine.
You know, it's weird because there's an action called recover that you can only do once per scene, and it just gives you health back. And I kind of wonder why you wouldn't just always use that.
Did you have an extra action before you only attacked him? You could have done it right before.
It's a double. I would have, but it's a 2 action thing.
Yeah.
But like,
I think it's like second win, basically.
right? Yeah, yeah. It just seems weird that we wouldn't use it.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess
you only use it once per scene, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
So Mario, who do you tend to first? Or I guess multiple people could tend to multiple people. Like Rasatar, you have a 2 in an intellect, right?
Are we taking a rest? Short rest?
You could attempt to do that, yeah.
Because I don't know how you're conventionally supposed to recover HP for other people, but in the resting section, you just add your medicine die bonus or medicine skill bonus to their recovery die. If you don't want to recover yourself.
Mhm.
And that's usually how you heal other people from.
It does look like that you are, at least like the descriptions it gives here is, you can roll a recovery die. It doesn't say. So I think it's assuming you're taking a short rest is what this is saying. I think. So as everybody kind of like deals with starts moving to each other and helping and whatnot, Alaya Matal says, "I'm sorry for all this. If you can see me safely home, I'll see that you're rewarded by the High Prince. But please, we need to get away from that great shell." So you can take actions to do so, or you can just move away. Whatever you guys would like to do.
For now, we should probably move.
You want to just move first?
I would think we would want to get far enough away from him that we have time to rest up being overrun.
Mara would agree.
Sounds good.
Put some distance between us, and then
as long as we can move, we should just move first.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you start to move away from the crash site, and as you round the bend, the chasm turns northeast. The canyon floor here is strewn with rocks and boulders. About 90 feet ahead, the chasm narrows. At its base, it forms a crack just wide enough for a person to pass through. And that is the moment where you hear something behind you. I got a fun little image to show. Oh yeah, here is the chasm fiend coming out of the chasm, by the way.
Oh, lovely.
Forgot to show that.
Oh, gross.
And then here is it bursting out of the chasm behind you, chasing you now.
Oh, good.
So you got to dash across this 90 feet. And you have like the slow bridgemen, and people are all like exhausted and wounded and stuff, right? Like not actually wounded, but people are carrying the captain. So now we're gonna do what's called an endeavor. So the way this is gonna work is I'll have each of you describe. We'll kind of go in an informal turn order, so each person's gonna do one thing, right? And then we'll go do it again. And you need to get a certain amount of successes before you get a certain amount of failures. Right. So you could do things such as just running, assisting a character, hiding, finding a shortcut, whatever you would describe yourself doing in this like moment of this chase here. So the chasm fiend has finished its meal of chul and bursts from like around the bend and just starts chasing after you guys. And
I'll be right back. Joe's awake for real now.
Sounds good. You just start running through the chasm, right? Yeah. What do you guys do? Like, what's the actual like action you take immediately?
Probably gonna yell to like split up, right? Like everybody scatter.
Scatter. Okay.
As we can. I don't know how much width there is in this chasm for us to, but like we just want to not all be in the same direction.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds like let's have you roll leadership now, Ladan.
Sure.
Right. I'm just trying to like do some strategy here. We're gonna raise the stakes on all these, I think. Nice. Okay, so it's a failure, but you did get an opportunity. With opportunities, the examples it gives here are so on a failure, basically, a character or NPC starts to lag behind. So either up to you now, Ladan. Either you're lagging behind because you're trying to make sure everybody's following your orders, or like another NPC starts lagging, like isn't able to follow your orders and is lagging behind. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll give somebody else advantage in that, like I'm directing everyone to run, but that also means that I don't get very far ahead.
Yep, right? And that's the thing it suggests for an opportunity here is give the next player's test an advantage. That makes sense. So you're saying this, and then you look and you're like, I'm too close. But then Seth, what's your character do?
Would I be able to like get to whatever her name is? I forgot already.
Alaya.
Yep, her, and then like try to help her run with her.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Let's have you make an athletics check.
And he gets advantage, right? Because of my.
Yes, you will get advantage on this. And then go ahead and do the plot die as well. All right. So that's +4 on the complication. There does mean you succeed.
Oh yeah, nice.
That made the difference there. But then you also have an opportunity. So or sorry, a complication. So Alaya is fine, right? Like you're ushering her along, just fine. But I think at that point, let's see, Doral is the one who like falls, right? Like he was like, I told you guys before, he's like, I think I can make it. Like my leg isn't as bad as I thought. Like just give me like this piece of wood we're using as a crutch, like a makeshift crutch, and I'm hobbling along. But at this point, he tries, right? He's trying to run as fast as he can, and he just falls. So that's the failure there. And he seems too terrified to move. Like he just like stops and like turns around and is just like staring at the chasm fiend as it's coming closer to him. So that is one success, but this NPC is frozen. And then Mara would be the next person. Obviously,
is there a map, by the way?
Stepped away. There isn't. It's just like you're running through a chasm, right?
Sure. Yeah. I didn't know if there was.
Nope. It's all kind of abstracted. Hi, Joe.
That's good.
All right, Carl. So what has happened so far is Naladan directed everyone to scatter and to make harder targets for the chasm fiend. He kind of ended up staying behind a little bit because he failed. So he's lagging behind himself. And then Rasatar is helping the brightness along, but the bridgeman Doral, the one who had a broken leg, fell in his attempt to escape, and then turned around and is just staring at the chasm fiend in horror, too frozen to move. What does Mara do? You could just run. You could try to help people who are lagging behind.
I mean, yeah, she's going to try to help. I'm just trying to figure out how.
Yeah. So, I mean, we described it before as just doing an athletics check with Rasatar. Okay. He was just helping Alaya along. So you could either go try to help the bridgeman with a broken leg, or there's also the two other bridgemen who are like dragging the captain along, like, dragging him by both arms. His legs are just dragging the stone. Yeah. No, that's what it is. They're just like wheelbarrow.
I think I would help the bridgeman with the broken leg and just say to the other two, if all else fails, leave the captain.
Yeah.
It's like at this point,
you know what they're actually doing? They're probably carrying him like a bridge, obviously, right? They have him on their shoulders, like, yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So go ahead and make an athletics test for us. All of these are going to be raise the stakes.
Okay.
Plot die. See if you can help the bridgeman along.
7.
It is a 9, but that's not enough.
Okay.
Yeah. And you got a complication. So, you obviously fail. So like he's stuck there. He's not moving. And like he has a broken leg. Like so you're trying to like drag him along, but you're like you're obviously a female and slightly like he's like a pretty stocky dude, right?
Yeah.
And you're having a hard time moving him. With the I think with the complication, the bridgeman just toss the captain to the ground and just start booking it, right?
They're like, oh, that means we don't need him, right? Bye.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as you even suggest that like it's a possibility to leave this guy behind, they just like toss him. His breastplate clatters to the ground, right? So we
became the bait after all.
Exactly. We have 2 failures and 1 success so far. And then we go back to the top of the turn order. Anyone can go, but like we'd go back to the 3 of you. Whoever would like to go next. So yeah, so far the bridgeman and the captain are being left behind, but everyone else is okay.
I don't know what else I would say to do other than keep running.
Yeah, just keep running. That's a test.
Yep.
Let's have you make a agility test. You're just running at top speed.
That's not athletics, or I mean, can it be either?
It says in here that it's agility. Because I think it's just about pure speed.
Yeah, that's weird.
All right.
Okay.
So
I thought this is based on strength. So
right, which is like a distance running is I think, and that's interesting.
I
In
think
D&D, distance running
Yeah.
over like a flat terrain is athletics, not agility, or not dexterity.
yeah, I think it's going with just like flee flat out like top speed is the idea. So just pure speed basically.
Okay, normally, and then with the plot die.
Yep, we'll do plot die for all these. A chasm fiend is quite literally chasing you and going to eat you. Oh, nice. So you had a +1 to that, so it wasn't actually a
Nice.
critical, right?
Oh.
Because you only got a 19.
Right,
But it is
so-
an opportunity. So not only do you get a success, so we're at 2 successes, and 2 failures, but you also can give the next player's test an advantage. Is it
that's
just
good.
That's what I'll do.
Is it just the idea that like Razatar is like running at top speed and everyone's like inspired by it? I guess.
Well, I have. I mean, it would make sense
Like,
because my,
if the
my
ardent can
character
do it.
has rousing presence. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, did you say something then?
sure, I'll be like, keep running. The Almighty will see us through.
There you go. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so whoever goes next will get advantage. Now Dan, Mara.
Can I try, since I was the furthest back, can I try to pick up help the bridgeman who was falling over? Can I catch up to him and try and help him? push him along?
Yeah, sure.
Is that athletics?
That is
Try and,
athletics, yeah.
lift him. Okay. And I get advantage of this, right?
Yes. Mhm.
It's probably
With the plot
a
die.
good thing. Oh, with the plot die. 12's not great.
12 is not great. Yeah, unfortunately, it does not work. But you do get the opportunity. So at least Mara's gonna be better off, I think, right?
Yeah.
Unless you
How
would like
many
to spend that opportunity in some.
Failures does it take before we lose?
I don't know if you know that.
Oh,
Because typically these are kind of just abstracted, and we're just
Right.
playing along until I tell you what happens, right?
Right.
But you don't fail yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't reached it. Do you want to use that opportunity to just give Mara another
Yeah.
advantage? Or
Give her
okay.
advantage, yeah.
All right, sounds good. I think, and like, unless you can keep staying there, but it seems like this guy's determined to die, right?
Yeah.
Mara, what do you do?
Um,
You just running? I guess technically you're there, right? Like you could, you're both.
We're both
there
trying to
at this
lift him,
point.
right?
Yeah,
yeah, I was gonna try one more time.
sure. Yeah, and that makes sense because he's giving you advantage, right? Like,
Yeah.
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 This makes sense.
so athletics. Also, we got some friendos in chat. Caleb Howard said, "Seth, be the wild card." I don't know when he said this, but he said that at one point.
Nice.
Uh,
Oh no.
Man, 11.
Man.
No, you didn't roll with advantage.
Oh,
Oh.
right.
Oh
Go
yeah.
and do it. Go and do it
Forgot
again. Also, Charles says Rasatar Chrome Dome Gang.
Oh no.
about that. Oh, yikes.
Even worse.
Technically, it's better. It's a 14 now.
Oh, that's
with
true.
the
That's true.
Complication, but
With the complication, yeah. Yeah, 14 is still unfortunately not good enough.
really. Oh,
Uh-huh. Yeah, it was 15.
yikes. Okay.
And
Jeez.
with a, I think like
I'm curious when you get a complication, who chooses what happens?
I believe opportunities are always like the person who rolled them, and complications are always the person opposing the one who rolled them. I believe,
Okay, interesting.
right? So, the thing it usually says here is like an NPC stops fleeing, too terrified to move. I don't think there's another one of those really that would do so in this case. I think they're all pretty far along. So I think instead we'll say
One of the
Oh,
things you can do is just lose a focus, which is why I was asking who gets to pick, because I would suggest
Right.
that's a good option if she could choose it. But I don't know
Yeah.
if that's how that works.
let me take a look here.
The GM chooses one of the following effects. Yeah.
Yep.
You choose one of the following effects. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So being distracted is like losing a focus.
Yeah, I'll just say that. That makes sense. We'll
She can also hinder an ally, give the disadvantage to the next test.
yeah, I think we'll just say lose a focus. That makes sense.
For me.
Yep. I just put it down for you, but yeah,
Okay.
you lose a focus as you're just like frustrated and distracted and like, no, come on. Like, and he just started saying, Bridge 9. So Naladan? Or I guess, does it go back to the beginning, I guess? I think
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like to do
We're
something.
struggling here.
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry. I guess that was a failure, wasn't it? That was another failure.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it ends. The 4 failures was
okay.
what you needed. Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, it was fun, guys. Nice knowing you. I guess I'll see you next week.
Okay, so what it says here is the Chasm Fiend reaches the group, attacking one of the NPCs who fell behind during the chase. The attack automatically kills that NPC. In the unlikely event that there are no NPCs left, choose a victim from among the characters, whoever, blah, 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 blah.
He kills the captain, probably he's the furthest back at this point, right?
Well, I described this guy falling before they tossed him. I was
true, but we
him...
spent like 4 actions trying to move this guy.
Oh, that's true. You could have moved him slightly. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I was like, I hope he's not still in the exact same spot.
But basically, I think the idea is okay. So this is what we've described then. You guys are dragging him along the entire time, right? Yeah. And the captain is quite truly the only thing that keeps him from being killed. Like the Chasm Fiend pauses for just long enough during this whole giant like escapade of you dragging him inch by inch across the whole thing that like he tosses him into his mouth and chomps down, that the Chasm Fiend is coming at full speed at you guys, and you guys literally barely get his legs through the chasm, like into the like narrow chasm, by the time the Chasm Fiend's claw just comes down into the ground and tears a giant trough in the ground right where his legs used to be, right? Like, oof. And you barely manage to get him out into the narrow chasm.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it was like came down to the very millisecond there, but you do manage to get him out, I think. And then the last thing he says is like, "We always survive." Right.
Nice.
Yeah, and you guys are safe for now. Here at the narrowest point of the chasm, the sheer cliff walls are about 5 feet apart. The Chasm Fiend pushes its head into the gap, but withdraws a few tense moments later, unable to squeeze through. Ahead, the chasm widens again. Yeah, so you guys kind of like keep going. It opens up into like a different chasm that is like not really connected to the one you were in before, so you're safe for now, right? And I think at this point, the night is starting to fall, and you're like, I think we're gonna have to like hang out in the chasms here for a little bit, unless you guys you could keep pressing forward, but it does seem like you're probably gonna have to stop and rest.
Some of us are about to die, so we need to rest.
Yeah. So now would be the time for each of you to like take a moment. You can like roll some different tests to like set up camp, recover, that sort of thing. So yeah, whatever you'd like to do there. Obviously, there's like recovery dice and stuff that can be spent, and honestly, it's I guess it's probably you're going to get a long rest in here. So as long as what does that refill again?
It's just you get everything back except for injuries.
Everything back?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we can just basically say that will happen. So all of your health goes back to normal, and the only thing that really matters at this point is the bridgeman's broken leg.
Yeah. Also, if anybody had exhaustion, they'd lose 1 level of it, but obviously we don't.
Sweet.
Cool.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll make sure that. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, and we can play out some of this if we'd like to. We can also just kind of push past it if we want to keep moving along here. I think the idea was that in the adventure here, it basically like gives you a bunch of different chances to like do stuff to build a fire, make a camp. But we can also instead just kind of keep pushing.
Move on. Keep going.
Yeah,
yeah, we can do that. That's all right.
Yep.
Just maybe in the interest of time.
That's what I was thinking, right? Like, in the adventure, it says like your characters can have a chance to like share something about your backstory or whatever. But
right.
I think we can move on.
We don't need character development.
Sounds good. But yeah, you're welcome. You get all your health back. All that stuff happens, right? So you guys spend a kind of like a tense night out in the chasms, and then in the morning, Alaya the Scholar opens her map. It's hand-drawn, focuses on the plateaus closest to the expedition's original destination. And she says, from our current position, the war camps are due west, but we have to assume the Chasm Fiend is still blocking that path. And then she indicates at a point in the chasms, if we circle to the northeast, we can still reach our dig site. It should be close by, perhaps an hour away. But going there would do more than satisfy my curiosity. The scouts who found the ruins said that they extended into the chasm. So if there's a way in, there might be a way up. So basically what she's saying is not only can we explore the thing that we came to do, but also there's probably a way out of the chasms at the ruins anyway.
That sounds like a good plan then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you guys. I don't know if you missed it, Carly, but everybody's like health and stuff all gets returned. You guys rested for the night. So, cool. Yeah. So, the chasm walls. Hi, Joe. The chasm walls seem to close in, and the smell of death hangs in the damp air. All around, creeping vines reach into the ankle-deep storm water. Life-spren, motes of green light, hover above the plants. But tiny red rotspren also gather here, crawling over 3 bodies lying in the water. So as you approach the region, the ruins, you reach this area. And I think actually I have a different map for that, or a different picture. So, yeah, you guys see like 3 bodies that you could like scavenge from as you're near the ruins. Would you like to do so?
What kind of bodies?
You see a soldier, like a Sadius soldier. You see a bridgeman, and you see the red bones of a long dead Parshendi warrior.
I go to the Parshendi warrior.
Sure, yeah. So that's the first thing. Rastar like rushes over to the Parshendi. Yeah, the warrior's carapace plates like cover his body's war form, obviously. You don't see anything in particular on him, but you could try to search around and see if you can find something.
Sure.
Want to make a
that's
perception
Yes.
test there?
Perception. Normal, no plot die.
No plot die. Wow, that's a critical failure. Okay. Not only is this guy not have anything on him, but he's actually still alive. With that failure, with that complication there.
Yeah.
He grabs your neck, right, in the last burst of like whatever's life force is still remaining in him, and he like starts to drag your face closer to him, and he's speaking in the Parshendi language. They're just like, right? Like, does anyone stop this? Does he do anything?
I think he tries to push him off.
Yeah, sure.
I was going to say, I would try to put an arrow through his head.
Yeah.
Probably more out of startled reflex than anything else.
Sure, yeah.
Shoot for a test question.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that first.
I don't speak Parshendi, right? So I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, if you didn't choose listener culture as one of yours.
Yeah, I
then no.
didn't. Oh, I should have. That would have made sense for my character. Oh well.
Hey, if you want to switch it, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, Carly, go ahead and make that test. Let's roll on your short bow there.
Mm-hmm. Plot die or no?
No plot die.
Okay.
Should be simple enough. I say before you fail.
Oof.
Yeah, so like I think the thing is like you're not in a combat. This guy is like almost dead, so it's like this isn't going to be like a super big threat. But I think trying to think of what like the actual like kind of consequence here.
He just gets time to try and hurt.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Sorry, Rassitar before she kills it.
Yeah, let's do that. So Rastar, you might get hurt by this before you're able to wriggle away.
Okay.
Do like an unarmed attack or something.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's say for dramatic drama's sake, that he did indeed have a weapon still on him that you didn't notice because you crit failed, right? And he uses that to attack you.
Maybe like a knife or something.
Yeah, I think he has his little axe.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's 17. I assume that hits your physical defense.
Yeah. Which I don't know if it's calculated in it, but I have customary garb, which increases my
+2
defense.
I did add those to your
Okay.
DC there. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for some reason I have this set to roll damage automatically, but it didn't do it.
Okay.
And that's not how you roll. All right, so you take 9 damage to your health. There as he and like the way this game deals with this is you didn't get an injury, right? He's just barely almost kills you, or right, like, and you're like you're stressed, you're bedraggled, shaken, yeah. And then the second arrow I think probably takes him in the eye from Mara, and he falls dead.
Nice.
But yeah, so there's an axe here if you want it. I assume you could have his sword. What's his face? His sword.
I think I still have a
the
sword.
captain. Yeah,
but I'll
okay, you
take the
still have his
axe
sword.
too. I mean,
Sure. Yeah. Just
My axe.
collecting weapons.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's not a whole lot else on this guy.
Okay.
Does the soldier have a breastplate?
Let me check. The soldier has a rusted breastplate. So yeah, I think like you could probably take it. It'd probably be like fall apart at the first time
Sure.
you get hit or something. But
It's
you could
it's better than the no breastplate I'm wearing.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
Great.
Sure, you could scavenge there.
Thanks.
And then I think you also find a belt pouch containing 20 diamond marks and a sapphire brome, which is worth 100 marks. They're all infused with stormlight.
Neat.
You also see the soldier has on him a carved wooden axe hound, like as a little memento.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess I'll take the money and hold up and be like, brightness. This one had some spheres you probably won't need.
I think she says to you, you keep it, Naladan. You've more than earned it this venture.
Oh, thank you. It's 125. Is that what you said?
All together would be 120 marks.
120. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
And then yeah,
and the
I'll put
bridgeman. Carly, were you like investigating the bridgeman then, since the other two were looking at the other ones? You're muted.
Yeah, probably.
Sounds good. You want to make a perception test for me? No plot die.
I have a 1 in perception. Oh no, that's persuasion.
I think you're better at perception.
Yes. Oh, I have a 5 in perception.
Yeah, I think it's your best skill.
Okay.
it.
You said no plot die?
No plot die, yeah.
Okay. 11.
Yeah, so you don't notice anything on the bridgeman. He has nothing.
I mean, par for the course for Bridgman, so
Yeah. Sounds
it
good.
would
But
be
then,
strange if he had anything.
yeah, I think as you leave the area, trying to think. Yeah, you know what? I think that you see the bridgeman. This is what happens, Carly. Your Mara is like checking out this bridgeman, and while the other people are checking out the other bodies, and they're like kind of scattered around. So you have like a bubble of privacy here, and you see for a moment, you don't notice anything on this bridgeman, but you do notice that the 3 bridgemen who are surviving, Doral and the 2 others, are chatting with each other briefly, and then one of them, I think, probably Kesh, comes over, and Kesh is like you know what? I think it's actually the other guy. What was his name? Because where are they? Aaron, Aran. He's an earnest-looking kind of 17-year-old bridgeman. He has brands on his forehead that mark him as a thief. The other bridgeman, Kesh, is a physically imposing, but he seems like kind of slow-witted bridgeman, age 24. So the younger bridgeman comes over to you and says, Brightness? Says it kind of softly.
Okay, what would be like my actual title? Would people just refer to me as like a scout?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm not sure. It makes sense for these bridgemen to call you Brightness. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like how, because it probably just makes her a little uncomfortable to
You
be
just say your
called
name,
that in
right?
company with the.
You could just say, "Call me Mara," right?
Yeah. She just says it's just Mara.
Sure, Mara. We've been talking. Everyone at the war camp, well, they think we're dead. It means us as bridgemen, we have a chance. If we get out of this, can you help us escape? You've been kind to us and saved poor Doral there. I mean, the rest of you, you're going back to friends and family, but us 3, we're going back to running those bridges, and Doral's gonna die if he has to do that. He can't run. He can't carry a bridge. Please, if you can do anything.
Who are they actually owned by? Are they owned by Sadius?
Sadius,
Or they,
yeah.
Okay.
And you're all Sadius men, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're a Sadius scout. Seth is a Sadius ardent.
We know how
Paladin
he is.
Yeah. Yeah, because my first instinct was to be like, if you prove yourselves, then maybe you could negotiate your freedom somehow, but like, not gonna be able to do that with Sadius. She also doesn't want to obviously implicate herself against Sadius.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can use hindsight on what happens in the books.
Kidding.
I think she just tells them, I can't. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. I think she just says, I could not explicitly involve myself. However, I don't like watching slaves having to do horrible labor. And if there comes an opportunity, I would not necessarily sling arrows at you in your escape.
Not necessarily.
Yeah. Aaron nods slowly. He's like,
Nice.
I think I understand. Well, thanks anyway. And he walks back over to the bridgeman. And I think, Mara, you noticed that there was like a little kind of glowing little ball of light looking spren that was kind of like floating around you, and then it kind of zips away.
No! What does that mean?
I don't know.
What was I supposed to do there? Oh, I'm sorry.
Poor Joe. Okay, yeah. So, you guys get around another bend after you like pick through the bodies, and here you reach your intended destination. The chasm is wide here, and the walls don't quite seem as high. The floor of the canyon is dry, with fewer plants, and broken stone litters the ground. The stone was broken recently and is not worn smooth like the rest of the chasm. And at first, you don't really see anything at eye level, but then we see like your character slowly look up, and you see on the side of the chasm, embedded in the canyon wall, once hidden behind a layer of stone and creme, a forgotten structure is now half revealed. Its lower level begins about 30 feet above the chasm floor, where columns flank an open doorway. Another 20 feet above that is an upper level, but strangely, that portion of the structure appears to be completely on its side. It's as if a building tumbled into the chasm and was frozen in stone. This structure, an ancient shrine, has been hidden for thousands of years. During the cataclysmic event that created the Shattered Plains, the structure collapsed. Over the millennia, it was sealed by layers of creme. But now, you're able to see it again. And this is where the expedition is taking you. Do you guys want to try climbing up the incline there that leads up to the doorway?
What would that be? Athletics?
I believe so.
Then yes.
Yeah. Let's have each of you make an athletics check in a row here.
Okay.
Whoever would like to go
I will
first.
start.
No plot die. Okay, you're fine, Rastar. Climb up.
Sweet.
Now then, you're fine.
Am I with an 8?
Yep. Mara,
You said no
Make
plot
it.
there.
no plot die.
Nice.
Yeah, the only way something would have happened is on a natural 1 or 20. Something happens.
Oh,
but,
wow. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So the structure is carved in an unfamiliar style, but it is clearly ancient. The columns that once supported the structure are still intact, though they all lean to one side. Ahead, an open doorway leads into darkness. Yeah. So the interior of the building is dark. Does anyone have like spheres or a lantern or something that they would like to pull out?
I know y'all just got spheres. I don't.
I have some, but I don't know if I'm supposed to have them.
Oh,
You
okay.
you also have a lantern, Mara, in your equipment, so you could just pull
Oh,
out
I
like
do?
an actual oil lantern.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Were
I
the
have 0 spheres.
like 120 spheres that I got? Are they? Is all of our money infused?
Yep.
Presumably.
Yep.
Okay, then yeah, I'll hand out enough for people to have light. I've got plenty.
Sounds good. Yep. So
Would
you can probably even just
track
hand some
that
to like
or should I-
the guard,
Yeah.
or like other people who can like hold and you guys can like act. But either way, we can say that people brought up some spheres and are lighting the way. At the very least, like Naladan, like you have like a big like a brome that you could just like hold in your hand, and that's like a big one that like lights
Okay.
pretty well. So, yeah. Yeah, it says a single marker brome provides bright light in a 5-foot radius, while a handful of spears can provide 10 feet of light. Who do we want to say actually has light in their hands?
Oh, I have a lantern.
I have
I
a
don't
shield
know.
and sword, so I'll let other people hold the light if possible.
So, Carly, are you holding your lantern?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Also random. I think I'm supposed to have some money. I think.
Yeah, I think you have like.
Yeah. What kind of kit did you pick? That's what decides it.
Yeah, I had a die roll. I
Yeah.
have.
What'd you roll?
I don't know. I
So
didn't
just roll
roll it.
again.
I don't know.
What kind
I'm
of
supposed
kit did you pick? Do you remember?
to- Nope. Wait. I might. I don't know.
Is
If
it
I
like
can
a
find the
priest
list
one or
of-
something?
Oh wait, actually, I forgot. There's not a list on here.
I don't know where it would be.
I don't think it's on this.
Yeah, it'd probably be in the enemy plane.
It's fine.
It's right. Let's just give you a 15.
Sure.
That's a
Okay.
pretty average number. Yeah. So who would like to actually be holding light then?
I guess maybe it makes sense for me to hand the lantern to someone else.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know.
Let's say the Alaya is holding it.
Okay.
I mean, the
yeah, that
bridgemen
makes
can
sense.
hold them too, right? Like
Mhm.
the spheres, because they don't have weapons anyways.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter too much here. The NPCs I don't think are going to do a lot in these
Mhm.
combats and stuff. I think I'll let we'll drag a spearman out here. But that's probably it. Where is Spearman Varda? Because I think the other NPCs are just gonna, hang out, let you guys do the bad stuff. All right. I guess this doesn't have. That works. You guys see the map? Or is it all? Oh, sorry. You see the map now?
I muted myself. It's black.
What about now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So you are going through the tunnel here. Rubble litters the room, and dust covers every surface. The floor is uneven, listing to one side. The walls are decorated with elegant carvings. Brightly colored kremlins crawl out of the cracks in the walls, then skitter away. The only path out of the room is a stone stairway leading up. What do you do? You wanna look at the
Did we-
room. Keep moving.
Everyone's with us, right?
Yep, they're just getting the back, I think.
I'll go first since I have a shield.
Mhm.
In fact, I know this isn't like a combat, but like in a combat, you can use your shield to take the brace action. So I mean, if you'll allow me to do that sort of in our traversal, I'll do that so that if something attacks me, they'll have disadvantage. But basically, I'm just going to kind of move around anytime we're upsetting something. I'm just keeping my shield ready, just because I don't know what's going on here.
Sure. I'm not sure that's what the rules want us to do, but sure. I'd actually.
Yeah, the
know.
game sort of just assumes that everything you're doing is kind of a scene. We had some conversations about this because it was talking about an ability that you can use on people, and it lasts for the scene. But we're like, okay, but what if you're not in a scene? Can you just do this infinitely? And basically, the conclusion we came to was that it feels like you're pretty much always in a scene, more or less, of some description. And it describes the scenes as like the combats and the endeavors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a little weird, but it's up to you,
Sure.
I guess, whether that's a thing.
Yeah, I think I'd rather just like ignore all that until we actually get into combat.
Okay,
And then if
that's
you
fine.
take a fast turn, right, you get to do that anyway.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. So basically, I don't know if you heard my description there, Seth. But basically, you're in this room. The floor is uneven. Rubble litters the room, and dust covers every surface. The floor is uneven, listing to one side. The walls are decorated with elegant carvings. Brightly colored kremlins crawl out of the cracks in the walls, then skitter away. The only path out of the room is a stone stairway leading up. So it sounds like David's character is leading the way, but you guys could investigate the room at all. You could just keep walking forward, whatever you want to do.
I would probably like investigate as we walk. Like
Sure.
we're looking at the walls and everything and looking at the
Make a
floor. and
lore test
everything.
for me.
Lore. Okay.
Yes.
There it is.
Sure. Yeah. So this looks like some type of shrine to you. It probably is around like the desolations that this is like originally from. Yeah, it's like some sort of shrine. Do you have a expertise in religion? No, you have it's literature. That's what you chose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
I don't think I do.
Okay, sounds good.
What
That's
a
fine.
priest.
Yeah, you're focusing more on like books and stuff than the specific doctrine. Yeah. So you notice it's like a shrine of some sort, but you're unsure what it actually was used for.
Okay.
Yeah, Alaya is also. We're assuming all the other MPs are in the back here. And she just mentions like this is interesting, and just like starts looking at the carvings on the wall. Just keep leading the way, Neladan.
Yeah.
Sounds good. When you get to the stairs, actually, let's have Carly. Do you want to make a survival test for us, real quick? No plot die. All right. Sounds good. So you don't notice this, Mara, but we see that the Kremlings in the room start getting like agitated. Right, like more and more of them start kind of like coming out of the walls, and whereas before they were like coming out of one wall and going in another, so they start staying in the room. But no one notices this. Carly would have been the one who notices it. It's subtle enough that it hasn't become relevant yet. But as you get to the stairs here, Naladan, do you want to make a deduction test for me? It sounds like you're the one in front, kind of like checking things out.
Also, criblings are like small, right?
Little crabs, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You said deduction?
Yeah.
Oh, good. My best skill. I mean, that's not too bad, but
Yeah, that's enough.
Cool.
Yep. So you see all these little like barnacle looking things that are like up the stairs. You recognize that they are like Kremling nests. And it's likely you should not touch them.
Okay.
Yeah. The stairs appear stable, but uneven. They're covered in these like melon-sized domes of creme-like material. They cluster like rock buds on each of the steps. Yeah, so basically you know that you'll have to, if you want to make up your way up the stairs, you'll have to move carefully to avoid stepping on one of the nests.
Okay.
So yeah, up to you. How you want to go about telling people that, or?
Yeah. See, I think before you go up the stairs, I hope, man, I'm like, these look like nests. We should probably move carefully, one at a time. And then,
Okay.
yeah, I'll go first.
Okay. Naladan, go ahead and make a agility test for me. Like to carefully step around.
Not
Stuff.
agility.
And we'll do plot die on all of these, and I think you can use opportunities to help other people, right?
Okay.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's not good. All right, doesn't matter.
Nobody
so,
step on.
and Naladan just like steps on one immediately. It's just there's too many of them, right? Like they're clustering everywhere, and it's like almost impossible to like not. And that's where we'll go ahead and enter another combat as a swarm of Kremlings comes out of the nests and the walls and starts attacking. Yeah. So
Good.
Naladan, you're like on the top of the stairs, right, or on the bottom of the stairs here, and you've stepped on one, and then everybody else is waiting below.
Never mind.
And yeah, so who wants to take a fast turn?
Not me.
Is it just one enemy?
Yeah, it's just the swarm of Kremlings. Yep, it's like all acting as one enemy.
Oh, okay. I will, since I'm in front, I guess.
Sure, makes sense.
I mean, yeah, I'll do vigilant stance, and I guess for now I'll just take a swing. I guess I didn't have my sword out, did I? Well,
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess.
If you handed the spheres to other people, we could assume you have your sword out.
Okay. All right. Good. I was say we don't really know what's here, so I guess it makes sense we'd have our weapons out.
Mhm.
All right. In that case, long sword.
Nice. Max damage.
All right. Thanks.
I believe that hits. I'll double check.
Okay.
Oh, that's not the right thing. Armor of Gremlins. Here we go. Oh, just barely misses.
Bummer. All right. I'll
Do you wanna
grace
you wanna
them.
grace? Yeah.
I have combat training, so I can grace for free.
Nice.
So they just take the 8.
Take the 8. Perfect.
And then I can't do anything else. Never mind.
Yeah, what does this look like when you're and there's like a swarm of Kremlin? So like you're just stepping on them.
Oh, yeah, he
stabbing
just
them.
stands back and just slams a sword into a bunch of them as it came out.
Yeah. Cool. Anyone else want to take a fast turn? Rastar, be slow. Mara?
Yes.
Trying to think of like what I actually could do. I guess I could slash them with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think technically you could shoot them with arrows, right? I don't think there's any mechanical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. It
guess
seems
so.
silly, but
I'm just trying to think of what logically she would
yeah.
be more
Right,
likely to do.
yeah.
Probably a knife.
So yeah, would you try to act quickly or like take a moment to assess things?
Probably act quickly.
Sure. So you want to just basically like move forward with one action and attack with the other?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, go and roll your knife then. Yeah, you feel like a prickle at the back of your spine, Carly, as you realize. Oh, yikes! Yeah, that's a fail. As you realize, right, like what you were noticing before, right, with all the Kremlins coming out of the walls, you're like, oh no, they're mad, they're mad. Yes, you rush forward and try to attack and miss. Yeah, I wouldn't even spend focus to.
Yeah, so
graze
there's
there,
a
that's
thing
a
where
1.
you can spend one focus to graze, and you do just the damage on the die, and you do get to know what the die damage is first. But you would only be doing 1, which would not be worth it.
Yeah.
If there are certain talents like combat training that allow you to grace for free the first time, which is what I used earlier. So it's a nice mechanic that allows the fight to keep going even if you miss a lot. But in this case, probably wouldn't be worth it.
Cool. So and then we'll have the Kremlins go. I think they'll take a fast turn. So let's see.
Is my health supposed to be 12?
It is. Yeah, it should be at full. Yep. You
Even
guys
after
rested.
Oh, we rested again?
Oh no, sorry. I forgot you got hit by an axe.
Yeah.
Yep. Man, if you hadn't said anything, I would have just completely forgotten about it.
I know.
All right. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll bite. Yeah, probably Aladdin. You're right there.
What? Oh yeah, I'm also in vigilant stance, so it would take multiple actions to attack anybody else anyways.
Yeah, you're the person who stepped on the nest anyway. So, all right, cool. So it did 6. It got a 16. I assume that hit you.
I think it's exactly what I have.
Sweet. All right. 2d4. Yep, 2d4 damage there. So 4. Right. And then you also 4 vital damage from poison. So your deflect doesn't work there.
That's disgusting. Okay.
They're poisoned Kremlins.
Yikes.
Or not,
that's awful.
venomous Kremlins, rather.
So I only take 1 damage because of vigilant stance and deflects on the 4. So I take 1, go down to 12. Then
that one bite that gets in just like feels like
what a
fire in your veins. All right, cool. And then I'm not sure what they would do otherwise.
They could brace if they have cover, which they're in a bunch of hives, so maybe.
Yeah, you know what? That makes sense. We'll have them do that. All right, cool. Rasatar, it'd be you next. What do you do?
So I have 3 actions, right?
Yep.
I can recover for 2 of them.
Yes, you can. That's probably a good idea.
Click recovery die.
Yeah, you click the recovery die. Yep. Nice.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, add 7 health. Then yeah.
So that brings me.
You just take a moment. You're like, all right. Because that was really the function of like the damage you took earlier was like you were shaken by them because you don't actually take an injury unless you have to roll on the injury table. So
Yeah. Okay.
Sweet.
Am I
And you have one
am I
action left?
close enough to attack?
No, not unless you want to like, throw something at them.
No.
Yeah, other actions would be like you know, trying to gain an advantage somehow
I'll
on your next attack.
probably do that.
Sure. I mean, you could do like a lore test if you wanted to like gauge them, like how do they work as Kremlings, right? Like what are
You
how
could
would
probably
how
also
would one go
pass
about?
3 me an attack if you want. Oh, we only have one action left.
He only has one action. Yeah.
Right.
I assume he doesn't want to move closer and then not do anything.
You could throw the
Yeah.
axe. Although
That's true. You can throw the axe.
Yeah.
You do have
Technically,
an
there's a rule for. Nice, dude. There you go.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. 23 with an opportunity.
That's perfect. You can tell us what the weakness is, and we can smack them.
Yes.
I think pretty much, right? Like not only do you have advantage on your next attack, but they like whoever you want, Naladan or Mara,
Yeah.
get advantage.
I think
And you can
Malachi
have more
gets
than one.
advantage.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
No, I think he said Naladan gets advantage.
You can have more than one advantage on a roll as well. By the way,
True.
in this system. So having advantage when you already have it isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially in combat because there's 3 different dice you potentially could have them on.
But I think technically opportunity would be like usually give it to someone else, right, for advantage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, sounds good. So that's what you do, and then Spearman Varda will move.
How long is it? Does he have a long spear
Oh, maybe.
or a regular? Because he might have reach enough to attack around Mara.
Yeah, let's check. Spear infantry. He has a short spear.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so he will he's gonna rush forward. He's gonna oh yeah, that doesn't work. Hey, I keep forgetting about reactions.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if there have been any other than dodging that could be relevant.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
have like aided people, right?
Oh, true. Yeah. And I guess I could have dodged, right?
Mhm. But yeah, I'll
Probably
have Varda move. You can move through allies fine, right?
I think so. I think it might be like a 5-foot extra thing or whatever, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He
It doesn't matter here. Yeah, he moves forward and attacks with a short spear. So you got an 18, nice. Hits.
Do they count as prone since they're tiny? Not the
No.
ground. No. Okay.
And it does 1d6 plus 2 keen damage. Nice. So 8 damage on the Kremlings.
Nice.
And then he will use his other action to brace because he has a shield.
Sweet.
There you go. And then go back to fast turns. Who wants to go fast?
Real quick question. So in an instance like this, if I wanted to use a rousing presence, what would that give someone?
Yeah, good question.
What is rousing presence?
It's one of my skills.
Do you want to click on it? So that
What
goes in
tree
the
did
chat.
you get it from?
Yeah, it's
It's an envoy thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
An ally you can influence. They become determined until they benefit from that. Okay, nice. Yeah.
What does that do?
It's just an action, and you basically, with a gesture, facial expression, or a few scant words, you inspire others to excel. They get the determined condition, which I believe like just gives them like a.
I think that's a
advantage or
plot
something
die
like that.
thing.
Let's check.
You like automatically get a good thing, whatever those are called.
When you fail a test, this is how it goes. When you fail a test, you can add an opportunity to the results. When you do, remove the determined condition.
Oh, that's cool.
So you just kind of you automatically get a little bit of a balm on your next failure.
Okay.
Pretty much.
I'm
I'm
not
trying to go
gonna do
fast
that.
and do that.
But I'm gonna take a fast turn and then I'm gonna move and attack.
Sounds good. Gonna
Um
move like behind it.
yeah.
Sounds good. You're all surrounding the Kremlings.
Mhm.
I
We're swarming the swarm. Get him.
can you add my axe
Oh yeah.
just so I can look and see what
Sure thing. All right, we add X. Which gives you so 1d8 plus 2 keen.
Oh, the axe is light. Oh, okay.
Oh, is it like a hand axe? Like a throwing axe?
Should be. There you go. It should be accurate now.
Okay.
Oh, axe is light.
I think it's what it said.
Oh, that was said. Okay.
That's what you put in. I don't know.
Oh, that's what I put in. Let me double check.
Oh, I think it just defaults to light, so it might have just not.
No, it's heavy. It's heavy.
Oh, okay.
I think there's like a throwing axe that might be.
I think I changed it. I think it defaulted to light and then I changed it.
Which is stronger, or is either one stronger?
I think they're basically the same as far as I can tell.
Okay,
What are you looking at?
because I have a thing with Parshendi stuff. I'll use the axe.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, longsword and axe are basically the same
Okay.
damage and stuff wise.
Well, the axe does 1d6 and the longsword does 1d8, but the longsword is 2.
Are you sure? In the Warform Singer, axe was 1d8.
I'm looking at the sheet right now. I think a lot of the enemies are like different or like wrong. They have said a few times. Like the Chull has a damage reduction stat instead of a deflect, and they're like, yeah, it's just old.
So is the longsword stronger?
Longsword is better. Yep.
But
Okay,
it
then that's what I
requires
would
2
use.
hands unless you have expertise with it. That's the difference.
Is an
Okay.
axe a light weapon or a heavy weapon?
It is heavy, but you can throw it, and it has offhand, which means it only costs 1 focus to do a second attack with it instead of 2.
I see. So I guess you could technically wield both of them.
You could.
Rasatar.
If you had expertise in the longsword, and then you could hold it in one hand because it has 2-handed unless you have.
Oh, that's true.
expertise.
That's true.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
longsword is
there you
better. I think you do miss either way. Either of those attacks
Okay.
are missed. So yeah, you move over there and attack and swing and miss. And then yeah, anyone else want to go fast?
I will.
Go.
I'm going to just swing at it with my sword. Try and skewer some more of them.
Sounds good. Longsword. Oh yeah, that
Nice.
definitely hits.
I got a 19, almost a 20. So it
They're not
takes-
dead yet, but
well,
yeah, definitely.
that doesn't account for. That's just a die. So it also takes another 5 from my heavy weapon skill.
Another 5. Oh my goodness gracious.
So it
Okay,
takes
yeah,
10,
it's dead then. You scatter the rest of the Kremlings.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Weird to me that it doesn't. Like it asks you what skill it is, but then it doesn't count it for the damage.
Cool.
Like it says.
And
that
yeah,
on the 5 on the
they
key.
don't bother you anymore after that point. So all right. Need to double check. I think this is where you're coming out
Is it?
from.
It's normal for Ardent to know how to fight, right? Also, this is a black map. Again.
It can be.
Okay.
It's not necessarily like a given, but it certainly is
Okay.
within the realm of plausibility. Oh, I keep getting rid of the wrong thing. I keep getting rid of the grid instead of the dynamic lighting.
Oh,
There we go. Okay, so I think it was. Yep. So you guys managed to get up the stairs, no problem. Well, you just remember the whole building is like upside down, or like on its side.
Okay.
Yeah. So you managed to get up the stair. Like the Kremlings all scatter at that point, and they don't bother you. But yeah, so you managed to go up the stairs. It actually takes a while. It's like the 5th floor that is accessible.
Wow.
All the other buildings are like collapsed or whatever. So you get up the stairs and like there's no entrance to it. So you just keep going,
boy.
and then you get
Okay.
like to close to the top, you think, and this room is still there. The upper level of the shrine lays completely on its side. What was once the floor is now the western wall, with its former ceiling to the east. Columns, broken from their pedestals, have collapsed onto the floor. The room's most striking feature is a statue of a shard bearer. Once it would have stood 15 feet tall, but now it lays against the floor like a falling warrior. 7 glyphs are carved into the pedestal at its feet. Yeah. So this is like Elia Matal, it pushes past you guys. Like, doesn't seem like
Right,
there's anything dangerous in the room, and she just starts like, this is exactly what I was looking for. The Knight's Radiance. And then she just starts like making sketches and stuff. Does anyone else want to look around and study things?
Yes.
Sweet. What do you look at?
Then
Looks like the most important thing in the room is like the glyphs on the statue.
I would do that.
Sure.
I can read, right? Because I'm an artist.
Well, you have literature as an expertise. so I
Yeah,
assume you
okay.
can read.
I know a lot
So-
about books. I can't read them, but I know 'em.
I've had a lot of books read to me.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
That's how it works. Okay. So
Yeah.
what test am I going to
expertise in audiobooks.
Yeah, so this is another endeavor here. I'm announcing it
Oh.
because normally you wouldn't necessarily announce it, but I'm announcing because we're getting familiar with the rules and stuff.
Mhm.
Basically, you'll make each of you can make some tests to study the thing, and we can discover some things. Just tell me what you're attempting to do. Like, what would you be focusing on specifically?
Like
what?
you said.
Like the glyphs specifically, or like another part of the statue?
Yeah, probably the glyphs.
Make a lore test for me, Seth.
I was already planning on it, but could I just do like a general assessment of the area, see any possible dangers, or
Sure. Yeah, make
would
a
that be
perception.
survival, or
Am
Make
I
a
rolling
perception.
the plot die?
Let's say no.
Okay.
Yeah, say no. 11. Perfect. Yeah, that's good enough. You notice that each glyph represents a single word in an archaic style. So life, strength, journey, before, death, weakness, and destination are all words that you see.
Okay. All right.
I wonder what those could mean.
Yeah, who knows?
And we said that like the NPCs are the ones who had like light like spheres in their hands.
Yeah.
I think when Elia gets close to the thing, we do see that like some of the stormlight from her spheres stream from one of the spheres, and the glyphs start glowing as you're looking at them, Rassitar. But yeah, Carly, go and make your perception test.
do I roll this with a plot die or no?
No plot die.
19.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so you don't notice anything. You do see that there's like two exits out of the room, right? There's like two little tunnels here. You think that the northern exit it looks it leads to a crack in the plateau above. The rough stone seems to provide easy handholds and footholds. The
Did
other
you
path.
see Joe just took a couple steps with his top of his hands on the screen? Just
No, I didn't.
So funny.
That's funny. The southern exit, Carly, looks to you like it's narrower and rubble choked. And leads to like a sunny ledge. You're not sure which is like the better option at this point. You're just kind of like taking a quick glance down the tunnel and seeing. But yeah, that's what you see. You also notice, Carly, as you like scan over the statue as well as you walk by it, you notice that the stone of each of the glyphs is pretty weathered, as if it has been touched many times. Do you like point that out to people?
Yeah.
So Naladan, what do you do? Oh, I think you're muted.
I'm muted. I was gonna make sure the room is safe, but I feel like we've already crossed that bridge.
Yep.
I might just like poke my head into these other rooms just to make like look down the hallways, unless that's what Carly just.
That's pretty much what Carly was just doing. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
You probably won't be able to learn more unless you like actually walk out there, and
Sure. Okay.
which you could do, but then you wouldn't be helping with the like endeavor to study this thing.
Oh well, yeah. I don't know that I got.
Which
a lot
yeah,
going on
you could
anyways.
just not care about it. That's fine.
Let's see. Let's look at what I've got here. Good persuasion.
I mean, the statue.
So they lit up right with some of the stormlight.
Yeah, the stormlight like streamed into it. Yeah.
Did it seem full? Like, did it only take some of the stormlight?
It. Oh, that's cool. I didn't actually notice this. So the spheres that. So I think it basically just takes the light from one sphere, and then yeah, it seems full. But then actually it does say all tests to decipher the puzzle on the little thing here gain advantage from that point on once the stormlight streams in.
Oh, neat. Okay.
So do you want to actually, David? Do you want to just make a deduction test for me? I'm just curious if you could like,
Sure.
as you're just looking at, just deduce what's
That's
happening.
deception. There we go. That one. Nah.
So with advantage.
Oh,
Remember?
right. Yeah, I think you just said. It's still probably not.
Oof, yikes. Actually, 10 is what you needed. Haha.
Hey.
Yes. So the lines between the glyphs are stylized numerals 1 through 7. So it seems pretty clear to you when you put all those pieces together as you guys are talking through it. You touch them in the right order. You say the first ideal of the Knight's Radiant. You touch each of the glyphs, and something will happen. Right.
Okay,
So
yes.
Elia like looks up at you guys and like nods, like, "Oh, thanks. That was clever."
Yeah, like maybe in order. Yeah.
Yeah, and Elia like presses each of the little glyphs, and
So she's
once-
doing it.
yeah, I think so. Unless you would
Okay.
like have
No,
rushed to do it.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. And obviously it says life before death, strength before weakness, journey before destination. And then yeah, you touch the glyphs in order. And then Mara, I think you notice the same little light spren looking thing that you saw before kind of buzz to life in front of you. And like you realize that it's been following you this whole time. Like this little spren has been like around whenever you like notice. And you thought it was like a life spren at first because it was like those are little like, motes of green light. But this one is like a little bit more of like a yellowish light, right? Yeah, I think let's see. It flies into the pedestal. The little spren does, and then the light from the glyphs fades. The golden light of the strange spren seems to infuse the pedestal all of a sudden after that. On one side of the pedestal, a compartment slides out of the stone. Inside the drawer is a bracelet and 2 rings linked by metallic chains. Though its gemstones are cracked, the metal is untarnished. This is no mere jewelry. It is a priceless artifact of the Vorin Church, a soulcaster, capable of transforming any substance to another with a touch. Yeah, so that's what you notice. Like you activated a little like compartment that brings the soulcaster out.
I assume Elias sees that, right?
Yeah. And she's like, "Whoa, like that is far more than I could have ever hoped for." And like grabs it out.
Nice.
And then I think Carly, you got like a 19 on perception. I think you also see that there's like other little hidden compartments that like could pop out. You're not sure, like it didn't pop out when you did the like little puzzle, but like there are technically other ones if you wanted to try to like pry them open somehow.
I think I'd probably just point them out to her.
Yeah, she nods. And then like anyone with like an athletics or thievery test can try to open those.
Can do
Whoever's
that.
good at that.
I could attempt
I have
thievery.
Yeah, go for it. Oh, Rastar got a 21
Dang.
on athletics. Yeah, so
Nice.
Rastar just starts jamming these open. Okay, so yeah, so it looks like you only get one open. That's the extent of it. You do see others, but the only one that actually kind of is able to get opened is one. And inside you find a blue silk ribbon embroidered with a glyph for Zephyr. And as you do, another kind of like, it looks like a wind spren kind of like flies out and then kind of disappears.
Okay.
You grab the ribbon.
Yep, I grabbed the ribbon.
It crumbles to dust.
Oh,
Yeah. Unfortunately, there were other options that I could have rolled on that D4 that would have been actually helpful. That was not one of them.
Oh no.
What's happening?
So I double checked the adventure, and there's only one compartment that can be opened. And I rolled Rastar opened that one, and he found a little ribbon inside. Windspren flew out of the compartment as well and disappeared. And then Seth grabbed the ribbon, and it crumbled to dust. So
well,
yeah, so
can't win them all.
Yep. And what's her face? Elia basically just says, "Well, I suppose we should get this back to the war camps." And
I
she
guess we
seems
keep
to
going up.
yeah, she nods. And you can tell probably Rasatar, she's wondering what to do with it. She like looks at you and says, "Rasatar, is this something that the Vorin Church should have?" And like legally, yes, like they're the only ones who are allowed to have it. But you can tell she's like, "I want to study this," right?
Good question. I think I tell her she should put it on.
Okay, she nods slowly, like fastens it, and then she, I think, touches
Oh no.
like a piece of rock, like some like just like piece of rubble, and it seems like nothing happens at first. She's like, and she's trying to remember, like, if I recall, soulcasters are specifically. Actually, no. Sorry. I realized the gems in there are cracked.
They're broken,
So,
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
wondering. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
they're
it should
broken.
work.
No, you're right. You're right. I forgot.
Okay.
Yeah, she puts it on. She's like it fits. I think it's unbroken except for the gems. Just replace those, and we have ourselves a working soulcaster.
I think I would say something like, it would be, I would say like, I would love to see it in act. No, don't. That sounds stupid. I'd like to see one finally work, but be very careful in what you do.
Yeah, she looks around at the rest of you like, are you going to tell on me if I take this?
Who sent us on this mission?
It was like I mean, I think it was,
Was
like
it Sadie's?
her. It was like her like research project. Like basically there was a battle recently with the listeners. The marching of like thousands of soldiers and then a high storm after that uncovered this ruin. Like some of the pieces fell off and like uncovered it. And the Sadius War Camp is the one who found out about it. And then this bright lady suggested like we should go out and I can lead that expedition basically.
Okay.
And Sadius was like, sounds good. Bring back anything valuable,
Okay.
right? Like,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just shrug and I'm like, it's your expedition,
Especially like it doesn't work right now. So
right?
yeah. She nods and just kind of slips it into her bag.
above my pay grade to care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I really care that much. I feel like I care
Mhm.
more about Parshendi stuff. So
Yeah. You quite literally have like an obstacle on your character sheet that you don't care about your own religion as much as you should.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Cool. Yeah. So then it's just from there deciding which exit to take. It looks like one is easier, and the other one is a little bit more difficult.
But they both
You're-
seem to lead up.
They do lead up. Yeah.
I mean, I guess the one that's easier is probably the wrong answer. So let's go that way.
Yeah. You just go up.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like it's less steep, or what makes it look easier? I guess.
Yeah, so the northern exit is a natural tunnel that leads to a crack in the plateau above. The rough stone provides easy handholds and footholds. The southern exit, this path leads through a narrower, rubble-choked tunnel. It leads outside, terminating in a sunny ledge.
It just turns it into a sunny ledge. That's probably not very helpful. All right, yeah, I guess I'll just head out the other way.
Sorry, the one more thing I should read. From there, it's an easy climb up to the plateau.
Oh,
So both look sort of easy, but it's like one is a little bit like you're going to squeeze through a bunch of stuff. It's mostly inconvenience, though, more than anything.
okay.
That's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I just go the way that looks easier,
hmm
unless anybody has a problem with that.
It would
for some
probably
reason.
be Mara who would, Mara, how about you do a survival test for me?
Okay. It's like, there's got to be a reason why there's another path here, but as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned, I would just take
In the
easy
adventure,
one.
there is, yes.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But like as a character, like you're just
Uh-huh.
gonna pick the
Plot
easier one.
die or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Let's do that.
17 with an opportunity.
Nice.
Yeah. So Mara, you've been like checking out these tunnels, right? And I think like 17 means you know that the way that the plateau above is going to be handled, like this like narrower one is going to be the better option if you want if you don't want to be kind of like you'll have a better angle on the rest of the plateau. If there's something or someone up there, you'll have a better angle on them. Whereas if you go up on the northern exit, you'll kind of come out in the middle of nowhere and like in the middle of the plateau and like be surrounded if there's someone up there. And with the opportunity, I think the opportunity is you actually do hear Parshendi voices coming from above.
Okay.
Oh, good.
My people.
Yeah, I would definitely suggest taking the other one then.
Yeah. So Mara
And
kind of leads
I
everyone
think
up
Finn's
the.
awake too.
Sounds good. Yeah, Mara leads like the expedition up the that route, and when you guys get up there, you are not surprised by the singers that are on top of the plateau.
Also,
Yeah.
okay, is it
Makes
too
sense.
late to change my one language to Parshendi?
It is not too late.
Okay,
No.
because it would make more sense.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is scary.
Yeah. So there's the Parshendi. So if I believe that if you had come up the northern exit, it would have been like up here. And then you would have like had to have climbed out of a little ridge and then be like directly next to them. Whereas if you climb up this way, you're like a distance away from them, right? You have a better handle, and they're not going to be able to surprise you, basically.
Okay.
So there you guys are, and then actually I'll copy Spearman Varda as well. because they're the only combat relevant characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you get up there. And yeah, you see. Oh, sorry. I need to change the number of NPCs up here based on the number of PCs we have. So 2. There we go. That's
Oh,
what you find up there.
I was like, oh my god.
4 of them. Yeah. That was like the max that it could be.
Oh,
Okay.
3 of the scouts there as well. So yeah, you see. Stop! A voice calls as you step out into the light. Give up anything you have taken. The voice speaks with an intense rhythmic cadence. It is joined by the humming of other voices. Parshendi, the armored warriors of the Shattered Plains, known to kill humans on sight. So you see 2 warform, and then 2 that seem in nimble form. Rasatar would recognize this, right?
Yeah.
Like the kind of like agile scout type singers. So that's what they say, and I think it's like the woman here who says that. The rest of them are males, but this woman here who seems like a nimble form singer is the one who shouted at you.
Okay, so the 2 in front are the nimble, and then the other 2. Okay.
Yep.
Um.
So yeah, so she said, "Stop! Give up anything you have taken."
And she's speaking Alethi.
She is speaking Alethi, but like
Okay.
with the rhythms, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Accented, yeah.
Oh, I don't think I have good deception. That's why.
Yeah, Alaya looks to the 3 of you, right? Because you guys seem
Yeah.
competent.
Thank you.
I am curious what Carly will do when she gets back, because her
Yeah.
backstory has to do with the Parshendi.
Oh,
Can I like?
all right. I won't just immediately tell them off then. Oh wait.
Can I like? Okay, would they know? I mean, and you may not be able to answer this for me. Would they know what a soul caster is?
That's a good question. Probably, I think so.
Okay.
I don't think they have. Well, I don't remember. Soul singer, soulcaster. Let's see if that comes up with anything. Yeah, I think they must, because like I'm pretty sure like they're like the Parshendi on the Shattered Plains
Mm-hmm.
are like stuck in the middle of the Shattered Plains, and I think they would probably just die if they couldn't.
Well, and I think isn't there a reason they go after the gem hearts? They must use them,
Right, they must
presumably
have soul
for
casters.
soul
Yeah,
casters.
I think they.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Otherwise, I don't think they'd have any value to them.
Yeah, they must use it for something.
Because I was gonna tell her to put the soulcaster on and change the gems out real quick so she could do something, but
She could, maybe start doing that, but
yeah, she
Do we
might
have
need to do that.
gems that would work.
um,
To replace them? I assume
maybe
not.
not.
right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't even remember like what all the different gems can do because I know that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
but I think they need to be cut in a certain way. And
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they do.
I
Okay,
think they
never
have to
mind.
be like fabrial gems, right? Like with Spren in them and stuff. Or you don't think you just take like any ruby? and drop
Oh,
it in
yeah,
there,
you're right.
right.
yeah,
I think yeah.
I'm
So I
pretty sure
assume
they
we
can
don't
never
have
mind.
to.
in a certain way.
Yeah.
Dang! Oh my gosh!
I'm honestly curious if when Carly gets back, whether or not she'll just shoot one of them in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna be like, okay, we'll give you your stuff so that you can just kill us and take the rest of it. Like, wait, you're literally just gonna attack us anyways.
Right. I don't
Actually,
think
at
we'd be
war,
so willing to just
right?
trust them.
Yeah, because I mean, at this point, we're in full on like revenge pact mode, right? There's no
Yeah.
point to
Is there any way we could make a run for it? Is that feasible or?
I think the only way we would be able to go right now would be back into the thing.
Back
Right?
into
We'd have
the
to
ruins,
pass them
yeah.
probably.
Yeah,
Although I don't
basically
really know what we're gonna do anyways, because we're on the plateaus at a bridge. So like,
Yeah.
It does from the maps that Elia has. It'll be a roundabout route, but this plateau does eventually lead back to the war camps. There is a permanent bridge, and then it kind of it'll be a roundabout route to get back to your camp, but it's close enough that
sure. We just honestly have to get to a camp, even if it's not ours.
Yeah. But I guess we can't go
basically
around them.
you guys took the direct route there with bridges with bridge crews.
Yeah.
But there is a way to get there that's kind of around out of the way for a Sadius camp to
Yeah.
to
Okay.
get.
And so we can't just go like try to run around them.
You could try to run, but they're faster than you for sure, and you have
Okay.
you have bridgemen who are like wounded and stuff.
Yeah. Plus, I think the war forms, or maybe it's the nimble forms, are known for just like jumping between
The
chasms.
chasms.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah.
So like,
yeah, they'll
we're
get us.
not. Yeah.
Well, I think I draw my sword.
Yeah. I really don't know that there's a lot of other options here.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
They're kind of far away from us. Well, no, the nimble forms.
But
are
you
fast.
could also just try to talk to them first, and then when it
That's
inevitably
true.
fails,
That's
right?
true.
Like that at least feels like something
I-
Rastar would try, right?
Probably. So okay, I think that let me look at my skills.
While he does that, can I take a bunch of actions?
I think I
Like
would
what?
say something kind of
Recover
like
and brace.
Maybe.
I want to spend the time that he's talking to be like, all right, we're
Yeah.
gonna fight. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Like I know it's gonna happen. I'm just gonna use this time to get ready.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
I think I would say something like there's no reason for us to fight. Neither of our groups would come out unscathed.
You saying this in Parshendi?
Yes.
Nice.
And so we should just carry on.
So Mara, you guys have reached the top, and there's a bunch of Parshendi there. Rasatar is going to attempt to talk to them, but would Mara just start shooting? Like, what? How does she feel about this?
Well, I mean, is there anything notable about any of them other than they're just Parshendi?
Do you want to make a perception check for me?
Yes, I do.
And also, I would say something like, some of you will die. So it'd be like intimidation.
Some of you may die.
Yeah, sure. You could do that.
Okay.
Am I rolling what die?
Sure. On this one, yeah.
I assume she's rolling before me.
11.
Yeah, I think so. 11 with an opportunity. Yeah. So I think the thing you notice is this. So one thing is for sure, these are not the Parshendi that killed your husband.
Okay.
Right. Like one of them would have to be a shard bearer for that really to be the case, right? And none of them
That's
are.
why I asked.
Yep. But I think the thing you do notice, Carly, Mara notices a light spren off the side of the map here, who it's like you can almost feel that it's like watching you and like waiting to see what you're gonna do. You feel it. And do you remember the conversation you had with the bridgeman, and that was the first time you like for sure noticed that spren? Yeah.
Is it a wind spren or a light spren?
A light spren.
Yeah. What is a light spren?
But you guys did also see a wind spren flow out of the statue at one point with the ribbon there. Mainly, I'm curious if you do anything. Otherwise, Rastatar is going to talk to them.
What is whatever her name is, the bright lady? What is she doing? Is she just?
She's letting you guys handle it.
Okay. Okay, what is Rastar actually saying?
Yeah, do you want to say it again, Rastar? I think
I'm
missed part of
saying
it too.
I'm going for intimidation here, so I'm like, there's no reason for us to fight. More than likely, some of you will die if you battle us, so we should leave peacefully.
All right, yeah, intimidation.
Is it normal roll?
I think you can. It'll be plot die.
How many are there?
But yeah, no,
4.
4 of them. Yep, 2 nimble forms and 2 war forms. Ooh, 14, but plus 2. Okay.
So
Yeah.
do we know for sure that that's true? That the odds would be in our favor?
Not necessarily. I mean,
Okay.
they're Parshendi are typically stronger than the average human.
Right.
Yeah.
1 to 1.
My character's just trying to use his strengths to de-escalate.
Mhm.
So the way this works, this is a conversation that's happening. There's actually a mechanic for this.
Oh,
So
okay.
she is going to resist that influence, right? She's going to resist the roll that you succeeded. I think. Let me double check that. Pretty sure you did. Yes, just barely. You beat her like spiritual or mental defense or whatever it is. But she's going to spend 2 focus to not be influenced by that intimidation. And instead she's going to say, we are listeners. You are injured and weak. We will be able to defeat you with no difficulties. And then, someone else can say something to try to like push this further. But it seems like she's resisting that.
Ooh.
Or you can just attack.
Does Naladin want to recover?
He did.
I did.
Oh,
Yeah,
he did?
I was
wasn't
using your
paying
time, your conversation.
Good.
To, like,
Okay, good. Thank you.
direction. Thanks for that. Appreciated it.
Mara or Naladan, you want to say anything?
Yeah, so we're all just going to hang out up here and wait for the chasm fin to come back and kill everybody. Is that the plan?
Yeah. I'm not sure what that would be rule wise. It'd
Probably
banter.
intimidation. I'm like, if we stay here and do this dumb stuff, we're all going to die.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Go ahead.
Oh
my
nice.
gosh. Technically should have done the plot die too. Go ahead and roll a d6 and we'll see what that was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
I got
nice.
2.
Nice.
I got 2. Whatever they're called.
Yeah, and I think the nimble form kind of like comes over and like says to her, like whispers to her something, and I think Rastar, you can barely understand it because you know the listener language, and you kind of strain your ears to hear it, and you hear the nimble form basically say to the rhythm of anxiety, right? Like we did see a chasm fiend not long ago. They are not lying.
Yeah, where do you think we got all these bruises from?
Yeah, and fighting the chasm fiends.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm stretching and banging on my checking out the rusted spots in my breastplate.
I think Vexla, the nimble form woman that's been talking to you, she kind of sniffs, holds up her nose to you guys, and basically just says, "Leave now. Leave quickly, else we decide to chance such an encounter."
I don't have any reason to stick around.
Bye.
Yeah, then just kind of rush off. Right.
I think Mara would have like instinctually like put an arrow in her bow, but waited for anything to escalate and wouldn't want to like actually engage unless they had to.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be the reason the fight starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do believe there actually is a note here. Let me double check this. Nope.
But
Okay,
just to
just
clarify, what I meant was like when they first encountered them, she would do that.
I know.
And then
I'm double checking. I don't think that would cause it to fail. There was like a couple of factors where if like if you do this, they instantly attack you.
Yeah.
That just like knocking an arrow was not one of them. So you,
Okay.
I was double checking.
God.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys
she wouldn't have like aimed it already, but
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys push past and kind of continue on your way. And you finally approach after it takes about 12 more hours. So like you get it's on evening by the time you get back to the war camps. But fortunately, no other dangers stalk the characters across the plateaus. So you finally approach your destination, the war camps. Built into a series of 10 craters at the edge of the Shattered Plains, each war camp houses the armies of an Alethi High Prince. The war camp for High Prince Sadius sits between the camps of Royan and Aladar at the southwestern end of the Alethi settlement. Guards stand at the gates to each war camp, scouts patrol on horseback, and Chol-drawn wagons move between the craters and the outer market to the west. So I think the idea is that Alaya is going to keep the Soulcaster. And I think honestly, we'll kind of treat the epilogue here as if you were going to continue playing these characters just to see kind of where they would go next, right?
Yeah.
You definitely, I think it's probably Rasatar specifically. Actually, no, all of you probably would be able to add her to like a connections thing, like as an NPC that's like your ally who you can like call on in the future. She will probably be the person who calls on you again to be like, okay, there's another mission. We're gonna go out into and explore another ruin, right? That would probably be how this campaign would go. Especially because you let her keep the Soulcaster. She's like, yeah, okay, we're on the same page. Here's the question, Carly. That you guys get closer to the war camps. The bridgemen look at you, and they're wondering if you're gonna let them make a run for it. You know what? No, one of them comes up to you again. I think it's Doral this time. It's the older bridgeman. He kind of hobbles up to you and he says, Mara, Bridge 9, we want our freedom. I can't ask you to buy out our debts, but maybe you can look the other way. We'll disappear into these chasms. We'll find our own way out.
Yeah, I think she takes the scavenged spears out of her pocket.
Yeah.
And like deftly like slips them over into his hand, trying to like make it so no one else can see.
Thievery.
Yeah.
Make a thievery test. Let's raise the stakes on that.
Oof.
Ooh, that was a failure.
No.
But with an opportunity. I'm not sure what that would be in this instance. You got an idea? It's usually like a narrative thing that like helps you. I think you muted.
Maybe it's about who notices.
Yeah, that's true. Who would be like a person who it wouldn't matter if they noticed, or at least would like maybe you could talk to them
Easier
about
to
it.
convince.
Yeah.
Um.
Naladan, Rastar. Yeah.
I mean, do I know? I mean, obviously everyone kind of knows what Sadius is like, but do I know everyone else's like feelings about Bridgman? Would I have to make another roll for that?
I think it's generally assumed that like they're looked on as poor wretches, necessary to, but like you pity them. I think we could maybe even say that like Alaya Matal is the one.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Is like these aren't her personal bridgemen. Like they came on this mission, but like maybe she would not care to see Sadius lose a couple.
She notices you slip the spheres, and you guys continue on for a little bit, right? And then she comes up to you and says, "May I ask, Morrow, what that was about with the bridgeman?"
Oof. I think she maybe just says something to the effect of, man, they haven't actually done that much on this expedition. So I was I was going to be like, just giving them a tip basically for like helping out in the dire situation.
Did I see it happen?
No, I think we'll say that only Elias saw
okay.
it happen.
I think he probably says something along the lines of like, I don't even know.
And you just be honest with her.
Yeah, but I'm trying to be honest in a implicit
Deceptive way.
Not deceptive, just not outright. Like, I'm helping them escape Sagittarius. I think she probably says something along the lines of like, just they were just burning a hole in my pocket. Figured I'd give them to someone who could get some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah. She seems to wonder about that. And she looks back at the bridgemen, looks back at you and says, Bridgemen are such pitiable wretches, aren't they? I suppose that's fair enough. She gives you like a knowing look, like she understands there's something else that went on there, but like she's not going to press you on it unless you want to say.
I think she just says, like, if it bothers you, Brightness, I will call them back, retrieve my spheres.
No, it doesn't bother me. I wonder if, if they'll be able to use it. Bridgemen lead such short lives.
Yeah, I think she nods and says, hence the spheres that I don't have any use for. Maybe they can extend theirs.
Okay, yeah. So she's going to be watching out for this. But so what would be your plan then, Carly? Are you going to help the bridgemen beyond that, or are you just going to like you're going to like look
actually,
the other way?
I'm going to rephrase that.
Yeah.
She didn't. I don't think she'd say that they could extend it, but I think she'd say maybe they can improve upon it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that could mean maybe they can, go get some alcohol or, gamble it away in whatever way they see fit. But
yeah. So here's the question then. I don't think the spheres that you got were like enough to buy out their debts. Those are usually pretty high.
Mm-hmm. Right. Her thought was literally just like give them to aid their escape in some way.
Right.
If they get somewhere, then they have some money.
If you aren't going to offer anything to them, they'll probably just try to make a break for it, right? Probably sometime before you actually reach the work camps. What would you just look the other way? Are you going to like specifically make a distraction so that they can slip away?
I don't know if she's decided that yet. I think as far as she's gotten decision-wise is just, well, I don't actually need these spheres that much. I got them off a dead man anyway, so maybe this will help them, maybe it won't, but...
Are we going to have to camp before we get back? Because that will make getting away a lot easier.
Sure, yeah. I think like the time is, it takes long enough that might be a possibility for sure. So maybe did they just try to slip away in the night?
Maybe.
Yeah. So
check on where Joe is real quick.
Sure. Yeah. Let's have everybody real quick make perception checks to see if you just notice them slipping away.
My perception is good, y'all.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, the 12 is what you need to be. All right. Wow. Okay. Carly, do you want to make your check? Make a
what are we checking?
Perception. To notice if when they slip away in the night.
Should we have the brightness lady also do that?
I think so. Yeah. Okay. So you don't even notice. So the thing is, like, if Elia does notice, like, she'll what's the word?
Alert everybody, probably.
Yeah, you won't be up to help them, right? Like, you won't be able to make a distraction yourself.
Well, she probably won't chase them, so she'll probably just wake us up to go chase them, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I doubt she's going to do it.
Oh
And she
no,
doesn't.
she failed. Okay, yeah. So no one notices
Nice.
as they slip off into the
There you
night.
go.
Yeah, and they try to disappear. Cool. So yeah, I think the only other thing that needs to be wrapped up then is I think you guys get to the war camps. Let's see a little scene with each of you just to see like where you go next, what you do in the war camps, like just a brief little snippet. Naladan?
Yeah, we see Naladin go back to sort of a night, like a minor noble's like tent, probably, right? They're all tents and like temporary buildings, right?
Yep.
So it's not like a soldier's barracks, but it's not nice. And he's got a brother there. We see another young guy, probably older than Naladin, and we see like there's no dialogue. We see like they embrace each other, and then we see Naladin start gesturing wildly about something, and presumably chasm fiends. He's making large gestures and destroying gestures, and he's telling a story about how he single-handedly saved everyone from a chasm fiend.
Nice.
And yeah, I guess that's what we see.
Sure, and then I think we see a shot of a little windspren, a light on like the edge of your tent, and like peer in. It's like it looks like he manifests as like an old veteran soldier guy, and kind of looks in and kind of glances in and nods to himself.
Nice.
And then we get Rastar. What is Rastar doing?
Am I like with?
You can describe yourself as with one of the MCs or something.
Would my character like be with what? I cannot remember her name.
Alaya Matal.
Alaya
I don't know
Matal.
why I could remember.
We've
Am
said
I
it
like
like a
her
bajillion
ardent
times.
almost? Or
We should probably have just called her Brightest Batal. I feel like that
Yeah.
would have been easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We can have you be with her. At the very least,
Okay.
like it makes sense that you would help her like with her research and stuff, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm with her, and I guess we're just, I don't know.
Maybe
What's the
refitting her
word?
back wheel.
Really trying to refit the Soulcaster, right? Right.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know Vornism and stuff, so you'd probably know something about
Mhm.
about that. Yeah, we see you guys put the gems in, and I'd like to think, Rastar, that you also like we see a shot of you like looking at the axe that the Parshendi
Mm-hmm.
you got from the Parshendi, and like
Yes.
thinking about like the listeners. I need to find out more about them, right? Like,
Yeah.
sweet. And then last but not least, we see Mara. Where's Mara when we pick up with her?
I mean, probably doing her scouting duties. Like, I don't remember how they described it in the book, but there's like outcroppings, I guess, of rock that they go scout on.
Yeah, I mean, you go across the plateaus and check on stuff.
Yeah.
You're probably one of the people who can like check on whether or not there's a chasm fiend coming to
Right.
keep bait and stuff, right? Or you're just like out in the Shattered Plains again.
She's probably keeping an eye on like the part of the chasm that they were in to see if it's gonna come out again anytime soon.
The chasm fiend, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. So we see you like on the edge of like the plateau, looking down into the chasm, right? And then this little glowing ball of golden light kind of shimmers to life in front of you, and it says, "I've been watching you, Mara."
She rubs her eyes.
and it stays there, right? It's not a hallucination. Kind of pulses softly. You let the bridgeman go. That's important to me, I think. Freedom.
I think she just says Sadius doesn't value that very much.
No, he does not. But I do. But we do. And together, we can do even more good. And you feel the words come to your mind, Mara. You remember the pedestal, right? Yeah, whether or not you say them right now, right? Like you think back to them at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think she says them. Yeah.
I mean, why
Journey
not?
before destination.
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
I'd like to think that like this is the end of the like epilogue of the session. So we get like her say right, life before death, or strength.
Oh, yeah.
life before death, strength before weakness, journey before, and we just stop right before she says the
Yeah.
last word, right? Because we're gonna give like a slow zoom in on her face, and like the music is lifting, and right before she says the last word, we just cut and get to credits.
And part of my character was that she really wanted to kill the Parshendi that killed her husband because her husband was a soldier in Sadeas's army. But I think I want to redirect that to make it make more sense with what I actually did as a character and say that she's employed by Sadeas still only because like that's what her station was when her husband died, and she's like she doesn't want to go find something new, but she's kind of resented Sadeas forever and didn't want to be part of his army, but her husband was, and so she was like, well, this is the best place to be then. And I think she blames Sadeas for his death because he was probably placed in an inopportune spot, and Sadeas didn't care and probably didn't give very much honor to the soldiers that died on that run.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So you have bonded, or you've bonded a will shaper spren,
Neat.
known as a light spren. Yep. So their whole thing is about freedom, breaking bonds, right?
Nice.
Making sure that people are free to live their lives how they wish. And yeah, her the spren's name is Tone, by the way. In Naladan, so the adventure gives you notes specifically for two spren that are following you or around the whole time. One is the Tone, the light spren, that's the main one, and then there's Zephyr or Zephyrus, I think, who's also an honor spren, who basically the two factors that it asked me to watch out for was if people are being protective, like doing protection, like a wind runner would do, or trying to free people. Naladan and Mara, I marked it every time it came up, and Naladan and Mara were the ones who got the highest of each of those.
Okay.
So, yeah. So there's a wind spren looking on you.
Cool.
Naladan.
That's cool.
Cool.
That's
Well,
a fun way to do it too, right? Like to try and be objective about it and like actually track the way that the characters are playing.
Yep.
And I think that's a cool idea. It's a fun way to do it.
Yeah. No.
Well, there you go. That's our session. That was the Cosmere RPG. Thanks for playing, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm actually really surprised that we actually got through the whole adventure.
Yeah, that was only like 3.5 hours, right?
I feel like the combats were fairly efficient.
Yep.
Yeah. Combat in this game is much quicker than in D&D, mostly because of the graze mechanic and the generally lower health. And
you
I
can
think
pretty much always do damage.
Yeah, I think that's really pretty solid design.
I like that. That was cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Cool stuff. Well, I'm sure we'll be doing more Cosmere RPG in the future, but for now, we'll go ahead and call it there. Thanks for playing, guys, and thank you for watching. We're out. Adios.